Why is your show 3 hours?
Welcome into the afternoon show here on WVNN. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded host of Hometown Heartbeat at 5 to 7 a.m. I'm here with Copper, and guest host today is Greg Wise. Let's first check in with Copper just to make sure she can hear us. Copper, how are you over there?
Doing well. How about you?
Well, you can hear us, by golly. We figured it out.
Yep.
That's always my biggest fear. It's like right when the music stops and it's time to, hop in there, that it's like, what if it doesn't work? You know why that's my fear, Copper? Because it's freaking happened before. That's number one reason why it's my biggest fear, is because it's happened. Are you getting enough volume from me?
Yep.
All right.
Clear.
All right. Well, we appreciate you having us this afternoon. LT is on vacation or she's out, and so we are going to be filling in today and tomorrow, and then you'll have some different guest hosts throughout the week. I know Copper's excited to have us. I'm her favorite, in case she hasn't told you that on the show. It's true. Is that not right, Copper?
Yeah. Thanks.
See, look at that. She said she avoided the question, though. She said, thanks for filling in. My guest host today is a local legend, a national treasure, and a C-list celebrity, Greg Wise. Greg, how's it going, buddy?
Fantastic. I would go with D-list celebrity.
A D-list celebrity, huh? Mm-hmm. I don't know that that's probably more accurate. You're right. Producer Connor just walked in. He's not sticking around, but he came in to fix my graphics here on the live stream. For those of you that are wanting to check us out on the live stream, you can go to thehometownheartbeat.com and click at the top, watch live, listen live. You can download the podcast. All of our shows are archived and dropped there. So get comfortable, settle in. Just housekeeping here. I'm sorry to do this on the air. I know it's super professional, but is there bed music on the way out from this particular show, or do I just go when I'm ready to go to break? Do I just go to break and then you take it out, Copper?
I will give you a cue and then hit the music.
Okay, excellent. Well, that's always the fun. That's always the fun part when I do Dale's. When I guest host for Dale, see, my show has bed music on it, so I can say to Dallas, I'll say, let's catch a break, and then we come back from the break, and he starts playing the bed music, and it gives me the time to work my way all the way out. But with Dale's show, there's no bed music, so I just have to just go to break. And there's like this abrupt ending, and it always throws me off. So I just want to make sure that I'm on the right page here. That's really what I'm looking forward to. So, Copper, I noticed when I texted you earlier, you have a Louisiana phone number. Are you from there, or?
I lived there for less than a year, my senior year of high school. It was an unfortunate situation. I grew up in Virginia, so that's.
I knew that because we grew up in the same general vicinity. I went to Chantilly. Yeah. I was asking that because we're actually headed to Louisiana to do some disaster relief with a ministry, ministry out of River Tree Church. And are you familiar with River Tree in Huntsville?
I am not.
They are. Nathan Goldsmith he's my home inspector. I told the story on the show this morning, but he actually walked into Gray and Holt one day while I was rehabbing the building, and he was like, "Let me see your permits." And I was like, "Who is this guy?" Turns out he was actually just a home inspector, and I guess after about a week after that meeting, he texted me out of the blue. We talked about Jesus a little bit, which kind of opened up the door. And so like a week later, he texted me and was like, "Hey man, are you interested in going to Florida?" And now, by the way, I'd met this man one time. And he goes, "Hey, are you interested in going to Florida and we're doing a roof?" Because the hurricane had just come through at this point. We're going to go redo a roof for a lady down there. I was like, okay, sounds good to me. And so out of the blue, complete stranger, we hopped in the truck. We went down, we redid a roof in a day and came back. And so ever since then, he's become one of my closest friends. But also every time there's a disaster, we get to go and serve. And so I hesitate to say I'm excited. I'm not excited by any stretch, but we are excited to be able to go and minister to the people down there. Really just go and try to help them out as best we can. I'm sure there's going to be tremendous amounts of work needing to be done. But we're leaving on Thursday with a 20-foot trailer and full of supplies. They've already had one They've already had one trip down there, so you can imagine there's just a ton to be done. So that's why I was asking if I don't know if you had family down that way or what. But how about that storm was a big deal, huh?
It was, yeah. I went down to Louisiana, New Orleans after Katrina and did some disaster relief with my church, and yeah, hurricane's no joke.
It's not at all, and that one was a big one. It was how about like, why are we not getting anything from the news media on it? You know, it's weird how I saw the mayor of Lake Charles was on Facebook doing a live stream or something where he was talking about how it's how there's no coverage whatsoever of the hurricane and such. And it's like, man, is our news media, when I use the word media loosely, journalism is dead, but they are the media. But how the media is just kind of, it's so consumed by its hatred for Donald Trump that it is incapable of covering anything else. And it's like, I mean, I'm no Donald Trump fan. Don't get me wrong. Like we're very, very clear on this show that I think he's an idiot in a lot of ways. He lacks the, I don't know. My mama called it couth. Is that? I mean, you know, that's
maybe tact.
Yeah, but that's couth is a good Southern word. You know, it's he lacks that couth that is just I don't know. He's very unpresidential, which I don't. Fine, whatever, that's fine. But the good that he's done outweighs a lot of that. I just wish the man would stay off Twitter. I tell you what, I wish Melania got on Twitter. She put out some stuff this weekend that was like, dang, like classy, educated, well spoken. Like I was super impressed with that. I was like, I wish she'd just take over his Twitter. I don't know. What can you do? What can you do? He has changed the face of politics forever, though, with that Twitter. Like the direct access to the people. Nobody's ever done that before.
Correct.
Are you going to give me more than just correct along the way today, or is it? Are you going to be my hype man? Just
Well, you hadn't stopped talking long enough.
Well, it's because I'm trying to wait. I'm waiting for you to jump in.
I've waited for an awkward pause. I've never.
All right, here it is.
So, Zach, how are you doing today?
Oh, good Lord. Here we go.
When are you going to Hawaii?
I've never been to Hawaii. Have you?
What about Florida?
I've been to Florida. I've been there twice in the last month and a half, actually.
You know why you and that guy are such good friends, right?
Who's that?
The guy you're going to Florida
Oh, why is that?
Because you'll work.
Yeah, I do work.
Yeah.
By God, I do work.
If I get some guys who'll do some work, I'm going to stay friends with
Are you
those
saying
guys.
he's using me?
No.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Definitely using me. I don't see any. There's no doubt about that. But we're. Can we go ahead and go to a break, Copper? And when we come back, I want to dive into. There's a specific Stephen A. Smith quote that I want to dive into. Stephen A. Smith, white privilege, Steve Kerr, Nash, all these guys. We got a lot to talk about there because I really want to dive into that. You're listening to the afternoon show here on WVNN. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host. We'll be right back.
WVNN. Depend on it.
Weather report sponsored by the National Crime Prevention Council.
My friend Teddy almost set his house on fire. He used a counterfeit, a fake wall charger. He had to go to the hospital.
Real products are tested for safety.
Visit ncpc.org/go4real. Brought to you by NCPC and the USPTO.
Here's your weather update from the Way 31 Storm Tracker Weather Center on News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Tuesday will be slightly warmer than Labor Day for North Alabama. The sunny skies continue with highs near 90 today, and will stay dry through Wednesday, but by Thursday all the way through this weekend, look for gradually increasing rain chances, but even this weekend, it will not be a washout. From the Way 31 Storm Tracker Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Rob Elvington.
Don't miss Wednesday's Dale Jackson show. We'll be talking with Cameron Smith, a new AO.com. We got a lot to discuss with that guy. He's worked in D.C. here recently as well. So don't miss it. Dale Jackson Show, 7 to 11 a.m. right here on WVNN.
For over 45 years, Larry's Pistol and Pawn has given you the best in guns and ammo, jewelry and loans. They also buy gold. The value of gold is high, and so you can salvage it right now. You can pawn or sell your gold and jewelry, or anything of any value. And while you're here, shop through their huge selection of guns and jewelry. And don't forget, they offer free layaway. Larry's Pistol and Pawn in Madison at Greenbrier Exit 3 by the big rusty water tower. If you don't know jewelry, know your jeweler. And if Larry says it's so, it's so.
The economic downturn is affecting everyone in America right now. Here in Alabama, that means some companies could be offering buyouts or possibly even going through rounds of layoffs. Hi, this is Tad Hill, the host of Retire with Freedom, and we've helped hundreds of families make sure they have a plan for situations just like that. Is a buyout right for you? Is a layoff possible, and you need to make sure that you know what your retirement plan is and how to replace your paycheck? Give us a call now to take advantage of our complimentary 15-minute strategy call, or to set up a virtual Zoom meeting to see how we can help you protect your retirement benefits. 988-0006, that's 205-988-0006, or visit AskFreedomFinancial.com. Take control of your retirement right now in these challenging times by giving us a call. 988-0006.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Welcome back to Afternoons here on WVNN. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded host of Hometown Heartbeat here on WVNN every morning from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., and I know that's awful early for you guys. So one of the beautiful things that you can do is go to our website at thehometownheartbeat.com, www.thehometownheartbeat.com. Click at the top on podcast. You will be able to get a archived version of the show sent to you every single day, and who wouldn't want that?
That's right.
Hey, I like that, Greg. I like that.
That's right.
You're going to be my hype. Yeah, hey, you.
I'm here for
hype man. You're the hype man.
Yes.
Okay, I can dig that. I'm in the process of pulling up a video here that, you know what, there's nothing better than watching video on a radio show.
Yeah.
You want to talk about tanking your ratings? Watch videos on a radio show. But there is a specific video that I think is uber important that we get into. Have you seen this Stephen A. Smith thing?
Yes. If you watch video with no audio on a radio show,
now that's real bad.
That'll tank.
Yeah, that's real bad. Thank God it's the audio. You know, we're just looking for audio here. Now, I've got to be able to find it. But here we go. The ad's playing. As soon as the ad's over, we're going to go to this this video here because I think it is something that I just want to commentate on it because it needs to be discussed. So let's make sure.
Do what you want.
I'm trying to find it. Okay.
Ladies.
There it was.
This is white privilege. This does not happen for a black man. No experience whatsoever on any level as a coach, and you get the Brooklyn Nets job. I know that Kyrie and KD have both signed off on this. I know they both support this move. But I'm thinking about a champion that is Ty Lue, passed up. I'm thinking about a guy who built the foundation for the Golden State Warriors in Mark Jackson, passed up. I'm thinking about the years that Sam Cassell has served as an assistant, first in the nation's capital in D.C., and now with the Los Angeles Clippers, passed up. And it's for a guy, my God, one of the best guys you could possibly meet in your life, and may do a fantastic job, but a guy that has no experience whatsoever. In these times where we're making all of this noise about social justice, I got news for y'all, Molly and Max. I have said this to people on numerous occasions right here on this show. Yes, that was the tipping point. George Floyd's killing, his murder, violence against black men who are unarmed. All of that stuff is true. But the frustration, the protest, and all of these things that you've seen in the streets throughout America, emanating from the black community and disenfranchised communities is that proverbial glass ceiling and the fact that it breeds a level of frustration that we can't even put into words sometimes. You just want to scream to the high heavens. How the hell does this always happen for somebody else other than us? Why is it that we have to be twice as good to get half as much? Why is it that no matter what we do and how hard we work and how we go through the process and the terrain of everything, somehow, some way, there's another excuse to ignore that criteria, to ignore those credentials, and instead bypass it and make an exception to the rule for someone other than us. So I'm depressed right now because I have to bring that up. Because Steve Nash doesn't deserve it. I think Steve Nash is going to do a hell of a job in Brooklyn. I think that he's going to resonate with Kyrie and KD. And not only that, his record in terms of looking out for one brother after another. I love this brother, Steve Nash. He is a beautiful person, and I'm so happy for him just on its face. But when I take into account all that it entails, and I think about the black men that were passed up in Brooklyn, New York City. We got Thibodeau at Madison Square Garden, who's obviously highly respected and deserves it. And now we got Steve Nash, who has no coaching resume, but a lot of people believe in him, and they should. Yet again, we find ourselves looking at a situation as black people. You know what? Everything as egregious as it is to kill an unarmed black man, to shoot him, and things of that nature. There are a multitude of ways where black folks, particularly black men, have been sliced and diced up and thrown out to pasture. And if I'm Sam Cassell, if I'm Ty Lue, if I'm Mark Jackson and these boys, that's how I'm feeling right now when I heard the news that two superstars in Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving signed off on this man being the new head coach in Brooklyn. I'm sure he's going to do a good job. I know Kyrie and KD ain't going to lose. I'm just saying, damn, as time changes, things remain the same.
So there's that.
Yeah, he says something in that.
Ready,
clip towards the
set,
end.
save. It selleth on time at your local.
Sorry about that.
No problem. I get ready to talk and you cut me off, man.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, it's because I don't know what I'm doing. Go ahead.
He says something in the middle of the clip near the end, I think, about how Steve Nash is going to do a fantastic job.
Oh, yeah.
How he loves the guy.
Well, that's part of my problem with the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like, this guy's awesome. I love this guy. He's a great player. He's a great man. He's a great basketball mind. And here, all right, so here's the big, and we discussed this on my show yesterday with Eric, who's a fan favorite on our show, and he's a black guy. And he, first of all, he was insulted by some of this stuff because it's like, wait a minute, Ty Lue should get a job just because he's black? No, he doesn't have to be qualified. Just being black's good enough. And it's at that point, what is it? Is it a pity hiring? Is it because it's not a merit-based hiring, right? It could be. But some of the issues I have, let me address these kind of one at a time. And if you have a comment or question or just generally want to say something about this about what you just heard, 1-866-494-9866, 1-866-494-WVNN. Give us a call and let's discuss it. But so a couple things, like he says that Ty Lue would have been an option. Great. He might have been an option, but was he better than Steve Nash? I don't know, because here's the bottom line. For those of you that don't know much about the NBA, it is a superstar league, okay? It is a superstar-driven league. Kyrie Irving is a showstopper. He is as big of a – and look, I don't know much about basketball. In fact, I don't enjoy it. I hate basketball. I don't like the NBA at all. Same. Kyrie Irving is a show-stopping basketball player. I will watch him play. Kevin Durant is one of the biggest. I mean, he's in the LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry. I mean, he's in that league of superstars. They both said, we want Steve Nash. You know who's going to get hired?
Steve Nash.
That'd be one Steve Nash. You know why? Because the superstar said so, not because he's white.
Yeah, that's the guys. That's the guy that the players wanted.
They wanted him, and guess what? In the NBA, maybe more than any other sport in the world, and I'm talking about basketball, even at the highest levels in Europe or in wherever in the world, the NBA specifically is the one sport where the coaches make very little difference.
I'd agree with that.
Very little difference. You gonna go coach LeBron James up? Hey, Bronny, keep your elbow in while you're shooting, big dog.
I'd love to coach LeBron.
Oh, I would too. I would sit back.
Contract.
Yeah, sit back. I'd wear furry slippers, and I'd sit back and I'd kick my furry slippers up on. I'd pull a chair in front of me. I'd kick my legs up, and I'd watch him play. You know why? Because that's what he wants you to do. You think LeBron James wants anyone telling him what to do? No. Of course not. He ain't been coached since he was 16, man. And so, again, you got these superstars coming in. They dictate the league. One, okay, here's another thing. Stephen A. Smith says, you know, it ain't never happened. Well, Steve Nash had no experience. He played, but he ain't have no experience. Okay, let me give you Exhibit A, Jason Kidd. How about Exhibit B, Doc Rivers? How about Fisher? Derek Fisher was a coach, okay? That's 3 black men got hired with no coaching experience. Last I can tell, ain't but 2 white guys. I mean, think about it. And from another perspective, Steve Kerr, hey, that worked out pretty well out there in Golden State, didn't it?
Yes, worked out great.
Hey, let me tell you something. If I'm a general manager and I'm watching things kind of shape up across the league, and I see what's going on in Golden State, I say, you know what? That looked like that worked out pretty well. I think I might want to try that. Let me go find a very talented point guard, which, by the way, the point guard is more or less the coach on the floor. And Steve Nash is one of the best basketball minds to have ever played the game. I just think this is absolute bupkis. And here's the worst part. I'd play, and we might play the. Have you seen the response yet?
No.
Ooh. He doubles down.
Really?
Oh, he doubles down in a big way. But at the end of the day, this is absurd, for lack of a better term. You couldn't be more intellectually dishonest with yourself, Stephen A. I don't know that I've seen, he hates Max Kellerman. He gives Max Kellerman absolute what for, and he just turned into him. On a bigger scale, maybe this may be more no, that's impossible. You're right. That's impossible. Max Kellerman is as ignorant as it gets. But yeah, it's just are we really to that point?
Yep. Oh, we've been past that point for a long time, brother.
How do we get out of this, man? Talk to me about the solution.
That's a good question. That's a good question. I think we know what the overall solution is.
Ooh, what's that? Tell me about it.
Jesus.
Hey.
But I think most of the secular world misses that point, and so we're trying to cure something that the secular world don't have a cure for, and so we just want to throw anything out there, try to get the ball rolling. It's a big snowball effect.
Oh, it's a big snowball.
Everybody jumps in, everybody jumps on. And whatever the running theme is, the media, the social media or mainstream media, whatever they want to drive, is where this boat's headed.
Isn't that terrifying?
Yes, absolutely.
You're listening.
That's the world that you live in.
No, you are exactly right. That's the world we live in, and Jesus is the only thing. Don't tarry, Lord Jesus. Come soon. You're listening to the afternoons here on WVNN. I am Zach Walker, your big, bold, beautiful, bearded host of Hometown Heartbeat, 5 to 7 a.m. every morning, right here. We'll be right back.
This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. News starts now.
In Rochester, New The deputy chief deciding to, quote, retire. It comes as the city is reeling from recent protests over the death of Daniel Prude back in March. During a police incident captured on video, officers placed a so-called spit hood over Prude's head. Rochester Police Chief LaRon Singletary writing that he served the past 2 decades with honor and accused, quote, outside entities of attempting to destroy his character and politicizing the black man's death. It is back to school day for New Jersey public students. Governor Phil Murphy said his state and schools have health protocols and procedures in place.
388 schools are reopening with hybrid in-person and remote learning, 69 with all in-person learning. 238 are all remote until a certain date.
Coronavirus cases on the rise in states around the country. The American Academy of Pediatrics reporting today that more than 70,000 new child cases were reported from August 20th through September 3rd. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
That's what sleeping with a CPAP sounds like. If you can't use CPAP, imagine pressing a button and it sounding like this. That's sleeping with Inspire. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with one click of a remote. That's right, just a button. If you have sleep apnea, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Your Retirement Matters with Chris Wallace of WG Financial. Saturdays at 7, 8:30, and noon. And Sunday mornings at 8 and 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Start your retirement planning this weekend. Listen every Saturday at 7, 8:30, and noon. And Sunday morning at 8 and 9 to Your Retirement Matters with Chris Wallace. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
So now I've got this pack of 4 Shar-Pei rescue dogs. Jimmy, Coco, another Shar-Pei, 1 pug who is Joe. I have stuck with the Dinovite for, oh my goodness, probably 5-6 years.
DINOVITE.com.
People remark on really how well my dogs look, what beautiful coats they've got. I tell them, yep, they get a regular diet of Dinovite with every meal.
Dinovite is nutrition.
All I have to do is say dog food. It's a pandemonium. They can be half asleep, and they're up and thrilled.
She just looks that bowl squeaky clean.
You don't need to wait until a problem presents itself. It's far better to keep the dog happy and healthy at all times.
Dinovite for life.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
People do ask how they get Dinovite. I tell them I get my Dinovite from DINOVITE.com.
These days, people are holding on to their vehicles longer than normal since supply is down. Auction prices for used cars are up, meaning your trade is worth a lot more to us. So right now at University Kia, get up to $5,000 over Kelley Blue Book fair market value for any trade during the Summer Stickers sales event. Drive home a new 2020 Kia Soul for only $189 per month. Now available, the all-new 2021 Kia Telluride, 8-passenger SUV with touchscreen display, backup warning, increased towing capacity, and much more. And don't prejudge your credit. If you bring home $350 per week, University Kia wants to approve your credit today.
This is Arthur C. My name is on the door, and I'm on the floor. If you're not 100% satisfied, please don't leave until you see me.
Get up to $5,000 over Kelley Blue Book fair market value for any trade. Only at University Kia. Online at universitykia.com. VIN number 717561. With approved credit through TD Auto. 1,000 down, 84 months at 4.5% APR plus tax, tech, title, license, and $7.99 dealer fee. All factory rebates to dealer. Negative equity refinance. Offers don't combine. Expires 10/4/20.
So now I've got this pack of 4 Shar-Pei rescue dogs. Jimmy, Coco, another Shar-Pei, 1 pug who is Joe. I have stuck with the Dinovite for, oh my goodness, probably 5-6 years.
DINOVITE.com.
People remark on really how well my dogs look, what beautiful coats they've got. I tell them, yep, they get a regular diet of Dinovite with every meal.
Dinovite is nutrition.
All I have to do is say dog food. It's a pandemonium. They can be half asleep, and they're up and thrilled.
She just looks that bowl squeaky clean.
You don't need to wait until a problem presents itself. It's far better to keep the dog happy and healthy at all times.
Dinovite for life.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
People do ask how they get Dinovite. I tell them I get my Dinovite from DINOVITE.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. This ad is sponsored by Janelle & Associates Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas.
Attention all former Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts. If you were sexually abused by an adult scout leader, even if the abuse happened decades ago, listen closely, as you may be entitled to substantial compensation. The Boy Scouts of America have billions of dollars in assets and have agreed to set up a victim compensation fund for victims of child sexual abuse, even if the abuse happened decades ago. Our attorneys can file a claim for you and get you the justice and closure you deserve while you remain completely anonymous. If you suffered abuses from scout leaders and those who knew about the abuse but failed to stop it, call our law firm's confidential Scout Abuse Helpline at 800-413-5784, as you may be entitled to substantial compensation. But hurry, as time is running out to file a claim. Call 800-413-5784 right now to see if you are eligible for substantial compensation. Call 800-413-5784. That's 800-413-5784. 800-413-5784.
News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Welcome back to Afternoons on WVNN. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded host of Hometown Heartbeat here on VNN every morning from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. I am joined by Greg Wise.
The smaller, clean-shaven.
The man, the myth, the legend, the smaller, clean-shaven. When I say small, I mean small. How tall are you, about 5'1"?
No, 5'6", bro.
Oh! Have you grown?
You shorted me some.
Have you grown?
No. Been this way since
he was 4.
About 10th grade.
10th grade? So you were a big kid in 10th grade. Nope.
No, still
you weren't.
small.
You've never been big a day in your life, have you?
No, sir.
How does that make you feel?
It's just the way God made me, brother.
He did. He made you small but mighty.
Yeah.
So what's your story, man? I mean, with you grew up here local, right?
I've been in this county for 45 of my 45 years.
That would be all of your 45 years.
Yes, every single one of them. I've been in this county, know a ton of people, know a ton of places, from the western county line to the eastern county line, Tennessee line to the Tennessee River.
Do a lot of people know you?
Probably not. I know a lot of people. They don't know me.
I should have picked a different co-host.
Yes, you should have called somebody else. You should have.
So let's tell that story, because I'm enjoying that. So you've been on the podcast before.
Yes.
Back when it was just the podcast, when it was just an afternoon, 45-minute afternoon podcast. And so today I'm guest hosting for LT. She's out. I'm like, I got to find somebody to help me out today. And I text you, and you're like, yeah, sure. What time? How long? And I responded with 2 to 5.
3 hours.
And you're like, what in the world?
The last time I was here for like 40 minutes.
So literally in the second break, Copper, you'll get a kick out of this. In the second break, he goes, so like we're on the radio?
Yeah. I think I'm just looking at myself on the webcam for 40 minutes and I'm done.
Like, no, we're not on the radio. We're doing a 3-hour podcast of 4 of our closest friends on Facebook.
Well, I didn't know. I wouldn't put anything past Zach Walker.
What does that mean?
It wouldn't surprise me none if we were doing a podcast for 3 hours.
Really?
No. If I hear Zach
I feel like
Walker
that kind of hurts my
something-
feelings a little bit.
No. Hey, you're cutting edge, man. Who else is doing
bleeding edge? Maybe.
Who else is doing a 3-hour podcast?
Oh, nobody, including myself.
Yeah, maybe that's an idea.
No,
you're not down.
That's the worst idea I've ever heard.
You're down with a 3-hour radio show.
Yes, because of the key word there being radio.
And you've got a face for radio, let me tell you.
I do. This is actually 5 hours today with our show. Yesterday we did 5 hours as well because we did our show and then we hosted for Dale on Labor Day. So, but we had a squad yesterday. Like I'm talking about, we had a squad.
Yeah, y'all were packed in.
Mm-hmm. We were socially distanced. Let me tell you.
Masks.
Yep, a lot of masks. We were 6 inches apart with no mask, and it was awesome. And no one died.
That's great.
I guess we're not part of that 6%.
That's great.
How did you feel about that, by the way? I want to get your opinion on that. When it came out that the CDC, and look, just to be clear, before I get all these calls and emails and all that stuff, first of all, I'm not going to read them. Second of all, I don't care. So don't waste your time. Don't waste your breath. Send it to somebody else. But when I saw 6% come out, those 6% are the only ones without underlying conditions.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, let me be clear. Again, listen, for those of you in the back, I get it. Without COVID, none of them die. Correct. Maybe right now. Now, that being said, the 94% are probably at a high risk of dying if they get pneumonia or if they get the flu or if they get any other type of disease. But when that came out, we had a guest on this morning. He's from the north, and he was like, so what did that – because actually he mentioned it. He was like, dude, I watched your show yesterday, and it's funny. He goes, because I'm not a communist, but I live in communist country up here. And he said it's kind of – Ralph Northam is a card-toting commie. Mm-hmm. That's the Virginia governor. But anyways, he was like, honestly, like I saw the video of you guys, and there's 6 of you in a room, and he was like, I didn't even mean for it to. I didn't care that much, but it was like my natural reaction was like, they're not socially distanced at all.
They're going to die.
They're not following the rules. And so he was like, so what did that? I mean, how was that received down there? I think he said in the sticks was his response, to which I just wanted to let him know that our economy, if you ask Forbes, we're in a better economic position than he is in the nation's capital, but that's neither here nor there.
Our power's not getting shut off either.
No.
I mean, that's another segment.
Now, we did just get running water last week, but outside of that, indoor plumbing and all that stuff. But no, what was the reaction of you and your people and your circle when those CDC numbers came out last week?
Well, it wasn't surprising. It's pretty much what we've been assuming for the last 6 months now. The thing that's surprising for me is that we just continue the facade, though. Like that report from the CDC never even came out. Those statistics never even come out. It's just business as usual, social distance, mask, lockdown. It's as if that article didn't even exist.
That's exactly right. And so it wasn't surprising, which is, I think that may be more terrifying in and of itself, though, that it wasn't really surprising. It's like, so we've got no faith in.
No, we don't care.
Well, we got no faith in the CDC. Definitely no faith in the WHO.
Well, we had faith in the CDC.
I don't know that I ever did.
Except when certain articles come out. If the article doesn't match up, it's not our confirmation bias, then we just throw that one under the rug and keep trucking to the next CDC article comes out that says we should double our mask or wear goggles.
If we double layer our mask, I'm all in.
Yes. Well,
I'm all in on that. Dude, I bought some underwear masks the other day. Have you seen those at Walmart?
No, I haven't.
They're like Hanes masks, and I call them underwear masks because Hanes is an underwear company. I know that's probably not a completely accurate statement. They're not literally your underwear, but they look like a pack of underwear. And so I bought.
They're like lacy.
What kind of underwear do you? Okay. You've just taken us down a path that I'm not entirely comfortable with. Okay.
You brought it up.
I didn't. I was talking about Hanes, not freaking
underwear
Victoria's
mask.
Secret.
Underwear mask. They're going out of business, by the way.
No, they're not.
I believe so. All the
somebody found out
brick
her
and
secret.
mortar buildings.
Somebody found out her secret.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the
they should have made masks.
I bet they would have had some lacy ones.
Yeah.
Oh, there were so many jokes in that right there that I just let slide.
Keep trucking.
I just let those slide. That's called growth. Thank you, Jesus, for maturity and for growth, because there were so many jokes.
Amen.
There, I think Marcia Hunter chimed in
from Kentucky.
That's my brother-in-law.
Yep, that's my sister-in-law.
You got some kinfolk.
She's in the great state of Kentucky.
They got big deer.
Tuning in.
Marcia, if you've got a place for us to come hunt, we'll be more than happy to come down and do a live remote, from Kentucky somewhere and shoot the old elusive American white-tailed deer.
She's near Mammoth Cave, so I'm sure there's some somewhere.
They're Mammoth?
The Mammoth Cave is.
Oh. I was thinking about the deer. Let's go to a break. When we come back, we'll dive into some of the the rolling blackouts in California. We'll go diving over there and see, give you a little snapshot into what it would look like for our future if we allow commies to run the world.
Let's do it.
They can't even freaking keep their power on. You're listening to Afternoons on WVNN. I'm Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded host of Hometown Heartbeat, joined by ever so energetic Greg Wise. We're working on it. I've got a 5-hour energy I'm about to put directly into his veins. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Compassion International. We're all feeling the weight of COVID-19. But for kids in poverty around the world, things are becoming desperate. Join Compassion International and provide for a family in poverty. Make your one-time $40 gift. Text HOPE to 83393.
Here's your weather update from the Way 31 Storm Tracker Weather Center on News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Tuesday will be slightly warmer than Labor Day for North Alabama. The sunny skies continue with highs near 90 today, and will stay dry through Wednesday, but by Thursday all the way through this weekend, look for gradually increasing rain chances, but even this weekend, it will not be a washout. From the Way 31 Storm Tracker Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Rob Elvington.
There are over 2 million new firearms owners in the U.S. this year. Many new owners are learning the importance of taking classes and participating in regular range practice. Whether you are a new or experienced shooter, you'll love Bullet and Barrel Indoor Training Facility. We have a state-of-the-art air handling system with 100% fresh air. This system, combined with our spacious building, means that we are able to stay open safely throughout the virus crisis. There are no hot, long outside lines at Bullet and Barrel. Take advantage of our 5-star experience. We have easy parking and uncrowded shopping. There are over 2 million new firearms owners in the U.S. this year. Many new owners are learning the importance of taking classes and participating in regular range practice. You'll love Bullet and Barrel Indoor Training Facility. We are open Tuesday through Sunday, located at 3252 Lemon Ferry Road. Shoot for something different at Bullet and Barrel. For more information, see Facebook or bulletandbarrel.com.
The Bottles Dining Room is now open. Chefs Chris McDonald and Andy Howery invite you back to Huntsville's premier dining experience. Private and business dining options are available with no room fees. Tables will be placed 6 feet apart and staff will be wearing masks for your protection. The Bottle will continue to offer curbside to go, as well as delivery through Grub South. Call 256-704-5555 to make a reservation or go to thebottledowntown.com.
News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Welcome back to Afternoons here on WVNN. I am the big, bold, beautiful, bearded host of Hometown Heartbeat. Every morning here from 5:30 to, from 5 to 7. What am I doing? I can't hardly, yeah, no, well, look, math is hard, okay? Math is hard. So I just got some really good news on the old text massage over here. Eric is on his way here. He got off work, and he worked off, and he's on his way.
Awesome.
So we're going to add that into the mix, and that is always that's always a blast. He's listening right now, I guarantee you. Man, he's something. Have you listened to?
I have not. I have no idea even who.
You're not a fan of my show, are you?
Well, I'm not up from 5 to 7.
I've already addressed that. First of all, you don't have to be. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to be. There's a podcast. If you go to www.thehometownheartbeat.com, at the top, I put it on your phone.
When
I click the button.
Driving long distances, I pull up Hometown Heartbeat and listen.
Okay. I don't believe you.
That's about once a week. Sorry, bro.
I don't believe you.
That
My feelings are hurt.
I mean, your co-host is sitting here saying he only listens to you once a week. So
that's
terrible.
not good.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's really not good.
Back.
He's also monotone.
That's how you get out of this gig.
He's like, your co-host is sitting here saying he only. We gotta get some energy in your voice, man.
Do you remember a guy?
Do you remember?
He was Paul Feinbaum's co-host from years ago when they were in Birmingham. I cannot remember the guy's name, but he talked just like that. Just
hold on a minute. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this is a perfect example of the world we're living in. I just got a headline. I want you to read this. I want you to read that to the people.
Trump gives military middle finger salute.
Is this real life?
I got the same.
Did you really?
Headline. Sure did.
So I just got a text message alert from some news outlet.
News break.
That Trump just gives a military middle finger salute. Well, now you know we got to go see what that's all about.
Yeah, you got to.
Do you think? All right, let's take a poll.
Well, that's why they send it to you like that. So
I know that's
have
my
to click
point.
it.
But do you think that Donald Trump flipped the bird to the military physically with his fingers?
Physically, I'm going to go with no.
Are you sure? You want to put $20 on it?
I'm not a gambler, but if I
well,
was
neither
a
am
gambler,
I. That's not
would,
gambling.
I would put
it's betting.
$20 that Trump has not physically flipped off the military.
Since he floated down that golden escalator in June 2015, Donald Trump has said a lot of outrageous things. In fact, almost daily, if not hourly. But nothing as outrageous, shocking, or dangerous as what he's reported to have said. Okay, what he's reported. To have said by the Atlantic magazine. Oh, they're a good one. November 2018, on a trip to Paris to attend a ceremony marking the end of World War I, Trump canceled a planned visit to nearby... I can't say that. American Cemetery. At the time, the White House blamed the weather, but based on 4 anonymous sources.
4 anonymous.
Well, at least they're corroborated.
But they're
with
anonymous.
anonymity.
They're also third graders.
Yeah. They that's exactly right. They're somewhere between 1st and 6th grade, and they woke up telling mommy about it in a dream they had, and that is for today's journalistic standards.
Yeah, I like it.
English is hard. Standards. That is enough for us to report that Trump gave the old middle finger to the American military. This is obnoxious. Like,
do we have the picture? I want to see the picture.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody show me the bird. I bet we won't see a bird, Greg.
No.
This is unbelievable. And then I'm getting another. Got another headline coming in here from Emo, our president of business development here at Hometown Heartbeat. He's actually literally sitting right behind me in the other room. So he may be listening on his phone, but Hazar, he can hear us. He can hear us without the radio.
He's probably hearing me. He's not.
Shut up. I can't hear you, and you got a microphone in front of your face.
What?
Oh, there he is. Dan Rather. Whether he said it or not, it is believable to a lot of people. Former CBS News anchor Dan Rather, who left the network for airing a false story about George W. Bush during the 2004 election. So this guy, hold on a minute. Let me make sure I read that right.
If Dan
he
Rather
left the network
real.
because he aired a fake story.
In 2000 what?
So 4. So this guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's who we're putting our faith in. But if he says it, it's real.
The Atlantic cited 4 anonymous sources who claimed that Trump called American soldiers who died in World War I losers and suckers in 2018 and claimed he skipped a visit to military cemetery because he did not want to get his... I can't even read this. Because he did not want to get his hair wet in the rain. This may be old news to everybody else, but I don't listen. Yeah, I know. They're like, wait a minute, but you have a talk show? Yeah, I do. I don't really do a lot of politics because of crap like this, but because he didn't want to get his hair wet in the rain. That's what. Are you kidding? Why? Because the orange would run down his face? I don't know. Like, what? I guess he had just had a color treated. The claims have been disputed on the record by well over a dozen sources. Okay.
But that's the proverbial middle finger we're referring to?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's correct. And so you've got 12 people, over 12 people, willing to come out on the record and say, not only will I dispute this, I will dispute it without being anonymous. I'm going to dispute it openly. I'm going to say, no. I was there. Of course, those people don't matter. But one of them, including former National Security Advisor John Bolton, who is a critic of our president. Good Lord. Dan Rather hosted a show on Radio Andy on Sirius XM 102 devoted to a segment on the Atlantic, and he asked callers to react to the story. He asked several whether they believed the allegations were true. Oh, man.
Yes.
Rather than several callers said that while they could not know for certain, they believed the article's allegations because of other things the president had allegedly said.
That's great.
Like,
I love it.
We're going to throw another allegedly in there. Like,
Yes.
it's just this entire thing.
Anonymous and allegedly.
And the only thing you can do about it is laugh. Like, I don't know what else to do, because the reality is, like, if you get mad about it, you're going to stay angry. Like, I'm talking about angry. Because it doesn't, I mean, it's not going to stop anytime soon. So what do? Well, I guess you laugh about it because...
Well, you also have to retweet the article, though, and share it on Facebook. So your friends can see
you're warming up, aren't you?
That Trump is
You're
flipping
getting
off
warmed
the
up.
military.
You're getting warmed up.
A
You're
little bit.
getting primed up a little bit.
Well, I mean, I've got 3 hours, so I figured I'd start in low and ramp up. Y'all ready to get busy?
we make a living off low expectations.
Right, like all the kids say, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Get turned.
No cap.
Get turned. We do a segment on our show called Word of the Day with the Dallas. Dallas is a 17, 18-year-old, and he's quite hip. Okay.
Yes.
And so that has been rather eye-opening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I've got a high school freshman, and I get educated every week on
Yeah, we
the
should
new
call
words.
him, and I would like to ask him questions about words like jit.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that.
That's
one
my
yet.
jit. It means like, we would call it like a mentor-mentee relationship. The
like
jit would be the mentee.
Okay, I like it.
I hate it.
You hate jit?
Fi.
Well,
Fi.
when I hear it, I think of Too Legit to Quit by MC Hammer from back in the day.
Well, that does bring back a
And
warm fuzzy.
So I kind of like it.
Yeah. I don't know how we ended up on that hard right turn, but it has definitely been eye-opening to me. But back to this Dan Rather story. And we'll conclude this, and I don't even want to talk about it the rest of the day because it's so depressing. But essentially, we have gotten to a point in this country where, can you freaking imagine what would have happened to a white dude, a Republican, probably from the South, if he had just started making stuff up about Obama with quote-unquote anonymous sources?
Allegedly.
We would have seen a man destroyed. I mean, they would have destroyed this man.
He would have been slinging boxes at Target, bud.
Maybe.
Career
I mean, Papa John's couldn't even sling boxes at Papa John, and he was the Papa.
Yeah, he gone. He gone.
I just don't. We've gotten to the point in this country where literally you can say whatever you want, true or not, about just about anyone with no fact checking, with no recourse. That's called defamation.
Well, most of the time, the article doesn't resemble what the headline says. You got the headline. Most people don't read the article. They just click retweet, share, don't even read the article, because if they read the article, they're like, oh, wait.
I've got an idea. Just retweet and share this live stream the same way. Every day.
Do what you want.
Every single, and what is that, by the way? Do it. You won't.
That's what the kids say, man.
The kids are stupid.
Yes.
You're listening to
no cap.
Afternoon on WVNN. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded host of Hometown Heartbeat every day right here, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Go to thehometownheartbeat.com. That would be thehometownheartbeat.com at the top. Watch live, listen live. We'll be right back.
Where Alabama talks. WVNN. Depend on it. WVNN Athens. WVNN FM Trinity. A Cumulus station. It's 3 o'clock. News starts now.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. President Trump in Jupiter, Florida today, touting his record on the environment, claiming the U.S. has some of the cleanest air in decades.
The Sunshine State is truly one of the most beautiful places on earth. I love it. and together we will preserve its breathtaking natural splendor for generations to come.
That despite criticism by rival Democratic presidential hopeful Joe Biden that President Trump has rolled back measures. The battleground state also hit hard by the coronavirus pandemic. ABC News political director Rick Klein says the economic fallout from the ongoing outbreak is weighing heavily on the minds of voters.
We know that President Trump has tried to shift the focus to what he calls law and order, depicting images of violence on the streets. Joe Biden, I think his challenge in terms of the look of the campaign, the feel of the campaign, the fact that he's out there wearing a mask and socially distancing, they're hoping that that serves as a contrast and frankly just connects to people how they're actually living their lives at this moment. This crisis continues to impact people's lives in very real and tangible ways.
Today, for many students across the country, it's back to school, whether remotely or in-person classrooms. The American Academy of Pediatrics also issuing a report today showing from August 20th through September 3rd, there were more than 70,000 new child coronavirus infections. In Rochester, New York, the entire city police force, the mayor is announcing that the command staff is retiring, that they weren't asked to tender resignation. That also includes the police chief. Divisions within the city and police department growing amid the investigation into the death of a 41-year-old black man in March. Police officers shown on video placing a so-called spit hood over Daniel Prude's head. That sparked recent protests. And at least 24 fires burning across California, with major blazes threatening communities in Southern California and trapping hikers and campers in Northern California. Dozens rescued from the Sierra National Forest today, airlifted out of harm's way during numerous helicopter missions. You're listening to ABC News.
Okay, some good news during a challenging time for everybody, and this could really help. You may know hundreds of thousands of people have already made the switch to MediShare, which is the affordable alternative to health insurance. And with so many people looking at how they pay for health care right now, seeing premiums going up or the cost of COBRA plans, MediShare has extended their special offer, and a lot of people have taken advantage of it. Simply apply by September 30th, and they will waive your new member fee. That's $170 savings. And of course, that's just the start. The typical family saves $500 a month after making the switch. MediShare is a Christian community that shares each other's healthcare costs, and it's worked beautifully for decades. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Just tell them the promo code SHARE to get your additional savings. Here it is. Call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
UN officials say that they've confirmed the first cases of coronavirus in a camp for Syrian refugees in Jordan. 2 people have tested positive. And in Israel, struggling continues to contain a second wave of COVID-19.
With another daily record set, 3,300 new COVID-19 cases, Israel appears to be heading towards a full national lockdown during the Jewish holidays, which begin next week. At nightfall, a curfew will begin in at least 40 hotspots here, but few experts believe the measure will be enough to bring down the infection rate that is now among the highest in the world per capita. And in Gaza, an alarming trend, medical workers rapidly falling victim to the virus in an already stretched medical system. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
In southwest Louisiana, utility workers still scrambling to get the lights back on after Laura.
In the days after Hurricane Laura, Louisiana Governor John Bell Edwards seemed to be hedging his bets when he said,
in the Calcasieu area, probably looking at about 3 weeks or so before some of those communities start powering up.
But as of this morning, more than 99,000 of the 105,000 homes and businesses in Calcasieu Parish still have no power. 95% are still in the dark. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
The 2020 Olympics will be held in 2021. Quote, at any cost, Japan's Olympics minister says despite the challenges and risks posed, the games will go on next year. This is ABC News.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I work in healthcare, and I haven't gotten even a runny nose. I'm pretty convinced that this is something to do with it. And you know what? I will never be without it. It's amazing. I'm telling you, it's amazing.
Balance of Nature is now offering 35% off on any new preferred order. Go to balanceofnature.com today and use discount code FRUITS.
Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
WVNN.
Turn that volume up for him so he can hear that.
Welcome back to Afternoons here at WVNN. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded host of Hometown Heartbeat here on WVNN every single morning at 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Yes, it does hurt my feelings like you think it would to wake up at 3:45 every single day.
Amen, that's right.
I keep forgetting about my hype, man.
Hype.
Okay, we are going to start this segment with the one, the only, Copper. Follow her on Twitter at CopperWVNN. This is everyone's favorite segment of the day, What's Trending. Copper, I don't really know how else it goes outside of that, but I'm going to throw it over to you.
Or not.
Oh, there's like a music.
Keeping you up to date with all that's trending in your world.
Oh, they have the internet on computers now.
You guys know how to post videos to Facebook?
It's What's Trending.
Alrighty, well, number 5 that's trending today. There are some new robots out called robo-dogs that look kind of like dogs. They're like flat, and then they have 4 little legs. And they came out a little while back for help in surveying like farmland and herding sheep and stuff. But I don't know, that sounds a little boring. I would rather just have a sheepdog, a real fluffy dog. But I would like a robo-dog if I was going into a dangerous situation like the military does. And they already have robots that help them like search out minefields and stuff. But these little robo-dogs could potentially go on like scouting missions. And because of the shape of their legs, they're really mobile and they're good on all sorts of terrain. So we'll probably see more robots infiltrating our lives in the next decade.
Did you see how much they cost?
No.
$75,000 a piece.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be like computers were initially really expensive, and then they're going to just get more and more affordable as time goes on. So maybe when we're 60, we'll all have little robo-dogs running around the house.
I might replace my pet with one.
They certainly won't pee in the house, that's for sure.
Hey, there it is. How does this work for the next one? How do we do this? Okay. I'm sorry, I'm new at this. Hey, why don't you tell me how this goes, and then I can actually help you.
Okay, sure. Well, when you get bored about talking about robots...
Oh, okay. I didn't know if this was like your segment or like how this works. Okay. All right, Copper, what's behind door number 4?
All right, number 4. So there are conspiracy theories floating around about a video, a security camera video that came out of a California parking lot in the middle of the night when some mail was just dumped there. It shows a truck just scooting back into this parking lot, the back opening up, and then somebody just throws like 5 huge trash bags stuffed with U.S. Postal Service mail. They just leave it on the ground and drive away. And this hasn't really happened before. And the Postal Service says, of course, that they had nothing to do with this. It's not like their workers are going and dumping mail behind dumpsters. But also, if you're wondering, no, they were not full of mail-in ballots.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. They were probably all Donald Trump ballots.
Dang it.
Let you down. The liberals can't say that the Postal Service is going through the mail and dumping the mail-in ballots as if they would be that sloppy if they were doing
Oh, no, they can. They will. We've already established they don't really, I mean, the facts don't matter. You don't even have to have sources. You just say what you want. So we're going to try that here on this show. And today, you've heard it here first. Those were all mail-in ballots that were already filled out for Donald Trump. They were legal ballots, and if he loses the election, that's why. You heard, and that's a fact.
That's right. They were not Geico auto insurance.
Nope, that's right. Copper, what's behind door number 3?
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, what happened? Did I go too fast?
I was going to say, a couple weeks ago, there were goats running around Alabama opening mailboxes and eating the mail out. So maybe Trump is training the goats to steal the liberals' mail-in ballots, and the liberals are stealing it and throwing it in parking lots in California.
I'm not mad at him. I mean, goats seem like a pretty, inconspicuous way to steal ballots.
Right.
Yes. Okay, and this is a transition year because number 3 just happens to be about goats. The goats are also breaking into places in Georgia, specifically into police officers' cars. This one lady cop, she, was visiting a house, got out. She came back, and, well, her paperwork had been dismantled by a goat. It was jumping in her car. I guess she left the door open, and it just decided that her car smelled like lunch and decided to eat all of her paperwork. I guess the people who got tickets that day were pretty happy if she hadn't entered it into her computer system yet. But this takes the whole excuses thing to the next level. You don't have to say that your dog ate your homework or your paperwork. You can tell your boss that a goat ate your paperwork.
No, and not be lying about that. I wish it would have been. I wish there would have been a goat in Athens eating tickets out of cop cars the other day because I got busted.
What was the crime?
That'd be pretty nice.
It was a crime. I can't discuss that. It's an open investigation. No, I'm kidding. It was just a speeding ticket.
Just a speeding ticket. That's what they all say.
Shut up, Greg. Copper, what's behind door number 2?
All right, number 2. So people are already making depressed jokes about how Halloween is going to work out this year. It's only September, people. Calm down. But, well, there's this picture going around of some guy who rigged up a long gutter. I don't know if he ripped a gutter pipe off the side of his house, or if there was just a spare one lying around, or if it was actually a really thick PVC pipe that just looked like a gutter. Well, anyway, he has this long staircase going down from the front door to the street level. And so he put this pipe all along the staircase leading from his porch down to street level and rigged it up with ropes and stuff, put a bucket at the bottom of this gutter, the theory being he can stand on the top of the porch and do social distancing by shoving candy down the gutter pipe thing, letting it slide through, drop into the bucket at the end, and the kids can just wave and walk along. This is a little excessive, I think. Also, in Halloween, there's a perfect made excuse to be wearing masks. Your hero masks, just added in. Or maybe by October, we won't have to wear them anymore. That's pretty optimistic, though.
No, it'll be November 5th before that goes away.
That's true.
I like his ingenuity, though.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I mean, definitely impressed, if nothing else. I'm not mad at him.
Did you see Lady Gaga's crazy masks at the MVA Awards?
No, I pretty much try to stay from anything. I stay away from anything, including Lady Gaga, except for that movie she was in with what's his face.
I haven't seen that.
What?
Leonardo DiCaprio?
No, friggin' Bradley Cooper.
That was Titanic.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
You talk, yeah.
Everybody liked it. I know.
Well, that's because it was freaking fantastic.
A movie with Lady Gaga was fantastic.
It was not a musical. There was nothing about it that was a musical. And it probably has one of the best soundtracks of any movie in the last, I don't know, I want to be careful because I love soundtracks, but let's say 5 to 7 years.
You've been up too long, bro.
Huh?
You've been awake too long today.
I'll slap you. I'll slap the short off of you. Maybe you'll get taller.
Do what you want.
What is behind door number? I wish we had a drum roll button. What's behind door number 1, Copper?
All right, number 1 trending on the internet is, here's your drum roll, The Mandalorian. The second season of it will be coming out at the end of October 30th. on Disney Plus. I guess they're just going to drop it all at once again. So I guess COVID didn't delay the filming of that, which is good. And
Well, that's because it's in a different galaxy, duh.
Oh, well, that's cool. I want to join their film teams if it takes me to another galaxy.
Get out of wearing masks.
That's true.
Get away from Meemaw and her stupid.
Well, Mando wears a mask.
Well, if I had Mando's mask, I'd be pumped.
That's right.
That's true.
I'd proudly wear that
and
mask.
You can hang out with Baby Yoda.
See, it's relatable because it's a character who can never take his mask off, otherwise he'll be shunned by his society.
Yeah,
I'm
welcome
sure,
to 2020.
Yeah, I'm sure we will see a lot of that. No, don't take it off.
More Baby Yoda photos out for everybody. He's being carted around in like a little side satchel.
Like a man purse?
A merce.
Yeah.
I think I want to get a merce.
Like a grungy, like.
I think it'd look good on you.
Kind of thing, with a baby sticking out of it.
Copper, before we go to break, I've got one question.
Yeah.
Do you think I could pull off a man purse?
Say yes, please.
I don't know. What pattern are you thinking of?
Houndstooth. We're in Alabama, might as well, right? Seersucker. Ooh. What about a seersucker man purse?
I like it.
You know what they say about seersucker? Can't hide money.
It'd look great on you.
I think so. All right, Copper, let's go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the things that you brought up. Kind of, it spurred some thoughts of mine that I want to dive into. You're listening to Afternoons on WVNN. I am Zach Walker, the big, bold, bearded, beautiful host of Hometown Heartbeat every single morning here on WVNN, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Indeed.com. If finding a high-impact hire is a serious goal for your business, use Indeed. Their flexible payment options mean a better bang for your buck, but no long-term contracts. Indeed will even give you a $75 credit for your first sponsored job. Post at Indeed.com/impact.
Here's your weather update from the Way 31 Storm Tracker Weather Center on News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Tuesday will be slightly warmer than Labor Day for North Alabama. The sunny skies continue with highs near 90 today, and will stay dry through Wednesday, but by Thursday all the way through this weekend, look for gradually increasing rain chances, but even this weekend, it will not be a washout. From the Way 31 Storm Tracker Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Rob Elvington.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here from my friends at Matt Curtis Real Estate. Now, Matt Curtis has a new program for you. It's called Fix to Sell, where they make the updates you need to make to your home before you need to sell it. So how's it work? Step 1, schedule a fix-to-sell consultation. Step 2, Matt Curtis Real Estate makes the repairs at no out-of-pocket expense to you. Step 3, Matt Curtis sells your home. So to schedule a new fix-to-sell consultation, call Matt Curtis today, 256-333-MOVE, or check them out online at mattcurtisrealestate.com.
The only way to go is in a Bankston motorhome.
Want to enjoy autumn colors and cooler weather this fall? Make precious memories that will last a lifetime in a new RV from Bankston Motorhome.
The only way to go.
Like the Venture Sport Track Touring Model 336 VRK on sale for only $303 per month. This fully loaded travel trailer sleeps 4 and has a window seat plus fireplace in the private king bedroom. This stunning travel trailer has 2 awnings and a full outside kitchen to make outdoor living a dream. With stainless steel appliances and 3 slides, this RV is a must-see.
The only way to go.
Check out the Sport Trek Touring RV, stock number 110915, on sale this month for only $303 per month with 10% down plus TTNL and approved credit.
The only way to go is in a Bankston motorhome.
6 locations or shop online at bankstonmotorhomes.com.
770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Afternoons on WVNN. I am the big, bold, beautiful, bearded host of Hometown Heartbeat right here on WVNN every single day from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Joined by the lovely Copper, and that was a fun segment, Copper. Thank you for that. I'm sorry if I was, a little bit chaotic there. But as for my first time, what would you give me if you had to grade me? What would be my grade?
The man purse image, I think, took it from like a 5.
Come on.
I'd give you a VG.
A very good?
Yes.
Oh, hot
awesome.
dog. And then to make our day even better, by God, I called my friend Eric. I said, "Hey, Eric, what are you doing?" He said, "Working." And I said, "Well, what are you doing after work?" He said, "I don't know. What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm hosting a show on WVNN. You want to come and host a show with me?" And he said, "By golly, I'll be there." And son of a gun, he's here.
What going on, big, beautiful host of the hometown heartbeat?
You stumbled through that one a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah, I was trying to gasp for air.
What? Are you having a hard time breathing?
I'm good now.
You got the Rona?
I'm good. You
ain't got the Rona, do you?
No, I'm good.
Are those transition lenses?
Actually, these are just my readers, so I can see when.
Are they sunglass readers?
I just bought some readers, man. Now,
Okay,
whatever color they are,
you ain't got to be rude.
Package.
You ain't got to be rude to me, man.
I'm not being rude to you.
You know I'm a delicate little flower.
Delicate. Flower.
Keyword.
Little.
No.
Whoa! What is that? A fat joke?
You don't want to call yourself
That's out
big.
of bounds.
You don't want to call yourself big.
Yeah, no. You want to know why? Because I'm freaking big.
There
Man.
you go.
That's why.
Actually, though, the reality is no. Zach is not as big as he keep on saying he is.
Huh?
No, he just tries to
act
big.
Hey, I go every bit of 285 now. That's a lot of man.
Well, that's muscle then, because it ain't fat. It ain't fat. That's muscle.
You crazy?
He got me by 100 though. I know that.
I've ate a meal weighs what you weigh. Lord,
while we've
mercy.
been sitting here,
huh?
You've ate a meal that weighed as much as me while we've been sitting here.
That may be a bit of a stretch, but it is. It's okay. I'm trying to download this freaking software so I can camera switch over here, and it's kicking my tail, so I quit. I'm just going to quit altogether.
That's tough.
And the camera's out of focus. Man, we're just getting our tail whooped right now. It's all good, though. You know why? Because it's a radio show.
Where's Connor?
Yeah, where is Connor? Connor's at home doing homework
I
and
was about
stuff.
to say, is Connor here?
No, he's a
He
student, man.
I figured he was.
Shoot.
Yeah, I figured he was. You had a truant officer coming down here if he missed school to do this.
You talk about an officer. You mean tell you a funny story? I got two funny stories, actually. So yesterday on our Labor Day show, my man Eric came out here to host with me.
Athens police is the greatest police. They are the greatest police. Officers are truly professionals. Truly professionals, and I really appreciate.
So I get here.
I don't know the officer who stopped me, but not Howard, but was it Howard and the other guy, the other officer? I appreciate him.
Mickey Hart. Yeah, he's
no. I'm sorry, Hart. Not Hart. It was the other guy.
Yeah, the other guy. He's a younger cop.
Yeah, and I appreciate him.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
appreciate him.
He was professional. But let me tell you the story. I'm gonna mute his mic so he can't interrupt me because it's a good story. So I'm here at like 4:30. I get here at 4:30. I was so excited for yesterday's show because honestly, that's the future. Hopefully of where our show's going. I'd love to have 3 or 4 guys like barbershop feel. You get 3 or 4 folks in here kicking it around and talking about Jesus and news and everything else. And, we're going to take you to church. We're going to take you to the comedy club. We're going to take you a little bit of everywhere, have a good time doing it. So we were doing that. So 4:30 I get here, getting everything set up. And I've been up here all weekend having to rearrange the studio because having 5 people is a whole lot different than having 3. And so I walk back into the lobby trying to get out to my truck, and I just see blue lights. Like I'm talking about, like lights going and everything. No siren, that's an exaggeration. But the lights were rocking. And I walk outside, and there he is, Eric, sitting there in the parking lot, pulled over with an APD right behind him. Now, as he said, Athens Police Department is as good as it gets. You're not going to find a better police department in the Southeast. Maybe in there's some bigger in the Southeast. I think that's a good compliment. And so I walk out and said, Eric, you good, man? He goes, get this man off of me. Thank God the cop was not, he was in his car at that particular moment. Because I could see Eric, he goes, get this man. And he like looks right, he's like, off of me. Like he didn't want to finish his sentence as loud as he started it. Yeah. And so I walk out and I kind of stood there and waited. And here comes this officer out of the car. And he doesn't make it 2 steps towards the truck. Eric, he sticks his hands out the window and goes, my hands are up, officer. Officer.
No, I said, here are both my hands. No misconstruing.
I said, Eric, man, cops in Athens aren't like that. We ain't got to worry about none of that around here.
Well, cops in Chicago and cops in Indiana and cops they weren't like that either until it happened. So, you know.
Oh, God.
Until it happened.
So, I don't know if you know Mickey Hart, but Mickey Hart, he's awesome, man. He rolled up behind us, and, of course, he started giving us both crap, and they came in, checked out the studio. And but what had happened was, it was, he was black and he was driving. So there it is. No, I'm kidding.
Yep,
totally kidding.
Athens police, you did not hear me say that. Make sure you differentiate between the voices.
Yeah, no, that was Zach. I said that. I'll own that.
I know. Athens police are professional. They were both of those guys.
I've said lots of things on here. So I mean, it obviously in jest, but what had happened was he couldn't find the building. Couldn't find the address, and so he was like looping back and forth, kind of slow driving, and looked
creeping.
like
he was creeping.
Yeah, creeping. Looked like he was casing some places, you know. And you add that, to some other factors, unmentioned factors, and he got pulled over. And then, sure enough, he had his wife did something and something. Then
now you're get me in the doghouse with you.
My
wife didn't do anything, Zach did.
No, she was on the phone with you. She saved you. She was just there supporting you. That's
there
what
you
she
go.
did.
There
she
you
was
go. There you go.
She was moral support.
There you go.
And then I was there for the actual bailout support, and we ended up no tickets.
No tickets.
We had a great encounter.
Warnings.
No bullets flying through the air. No necks. No knees on necks. I mean, we were winning.
I was able to go home and kiss the wife.
5 hours later.
Yeah, 5 hours later. Thanks to Zach.
He did the whole 5, though. You thought 3 was long.
He did the 5-hour show.
Well, actually, it went by.
Oh, it flies.
It went by like that.
This is flying. I mean, you're going to look down in a minute and be like, man, we're halfway through.
It flies when you're bantering.
Yeah. But now, when you get in a fight in a commercial break, it does not fly.
I told Corey.
Hey, my wife was like, I got home. She was like, well, that was awkward. And I was like, no, it wasn't. That was 2 dudes having a disagreement, and we disagreed about something, and I'm curious to get your opinion on it, but maybe after the 5 o'clock hour's over, so we don't have to have this fight again.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight. I didn't fight last time. I just
don't let him talk. Don't let him tell you that lie.
What I thought the Spirit was giving me.
Oh, he stated it as a fact with no room for any other facts. But anyways, that's a joke.
Like I said, at the end of the day, I say let go, let go.
That's right. And so at the end of the day, but again, like it's funny how women they perceive, and not. I mean, I think it is women. I think I can say that. Like they perceive men the way we disagree oftentimes is quite loud. It's quite passionate. You ain't never gonna have a disagreement that's like
we emotional too.
Oh, you talking about emotional? You talking about 2 of the most emotional guys I know. Me and Eric, we can get passionate about just about anything. We talk about tying shoes, and I'm over here talking about no. You got to do the overhand bow. You got to tie the bow this way. That's just how I am.
Passion,
right?
man. It's
but I'm talking about between Sandy and my wife. I thought they thought we was finna pull knives out and start shaking folks. I was like, we just disagreed.
They started calling up here. Do we need to come up there?
No, they were here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my wife was in the studio.
She was over there. His wife was over there, and Sandy was right.
She was holding the back of your shirt.
No, but she was
leaned back because she was. I had my eyes on you. She was leaned back.
She goes,
and Sandy was just sitting there like she's probably seen this type of stuff in her past life.
What are you saying about my wife?
No,
she
I
ain't seen it. I know you saying my wife ain't lived.
No,
I'm messing with you, man. And he got in trouble for calling my wife. I told him my wife was going to go get some breakfast, and he goes, I said Chick-fil-A's closed till 10:30. He goes, what she need to go to Chick-fil-A for? She got an oven? She got ingredients to make some eggs. Get in the kitchen and make me some food, woman. That's more or less. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but that's more or less what he said.
That is not how I said. He said that she's going to be bringing some food. And he said that she was planning to go to Chick-fil-A, but they were closed. They don't open till 10-something. And I asked her, I said, Zach, do you got a kitchen and a stove?
Yeah.
And he said, I don't even think he heard me, but you got a kitchen and a stove.
You're listening to Afternoons on WVNN. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host of Hometown Heartbeats every morning here, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. We'll be right back.
This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. News starts now.
A state of emergency in California with massive wildfires. 15 members of a fire crew suffering burns and smoke inhalation when they had to deploy the safety tents to protect themselves as flames swept over them, battling the Dolan fire near Big Sur. Fires also trapping hikers in the Sierra National Forest to the north with helicopter rescues today, and separate fires also burning in Southern California. Governor Gavin Newsom blaming climate change for the record high temperatures fueling fires.
We experienced yet another massive record-breaking heat wave over the last 3 days. Highest temperatures ever recorded, as an example, in Los Angeles County, 121 degrees.
In Florida today, President Trump telling supporters in the battleground state he's extending a ban on offshore drilling off the coast for the next decade. It comes as he's facing criticism over his handling of the environment from rival Joe Biden. And on Wall Street, stocks extending losses with tech shares slumping again. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Now time for What Grinds My Gears with WVNN's live and local morning show host, Dale Jackson.
You know what really grinds my gears? All these stories coming out of the local media outlets about the coronavirus. We saw one that talked about the very, very high risk that Madison County is in and how we may not want to open schools yet, even though all that's about is nursing homes doing universal testing, and those things are all completely contained. Then we have another media outlet pushing a story of 6,000 plus Alabamians will be dead by January, which of course we know is not true, especially considering there's a vaccine on the way. But they keep pushing these stories because they're trying to scare you. My gears.
The Dale Jackson Show, weekdays from 7 to 11 a.m. only on News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN, and available 24/7 at WVNN.com. Depend on it.
There are over 2 million new firearms owners in the U.S. this year. Many new owners are learning the importance of taking classes and participating in regular range practice. Whether you are a new or experienced shooter, you'll love Bullet & Barrel Indoor Training Facility. We have a state-of-the-art air handling system with 100% fresh air. This system, combined with our spacious building, means that we are able to stay open safely throughout the virus crisis. There are no hot, long outside lines at Bullet & Barrel. Take advantage of our 5-star experience. We have easy parking and uncrowded shopping. There are over 2 million new firearms owners in the U.S. this year. Many new owners are learning the importance of taking classes and participating in regular range practice. You'll love Bullet & Barrel Indoor Training Facility. We are open Tuesday through Sunday, located at 3252 Lemon Ferry Road. Shoot for something different at Bullet & Barrel. For more information, see Facebook or bulletandbarrel.com.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This ad is sponsored by Janelle & Associates Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas.
Attention all former Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts. If you were sexually abused by an adult scout leader, even if the abuse happened decades ago, listen closely as you may be entitled to substantial compensation. The Boy Scouts of America have billions of dollars in assets and have agreed to set up a victim compensation fund for victims of child sexual abuse, even if the abuse happened decades ago. Our attorneys can file a claim for you and get you the justice and closure you deserve while you remain completely anonymous. If you you suffered abuses from Scout leaders and those who knew about the abuse but failed to stop it, call our law firm's confidential Scout Abuse Helpline at 800-413-5784, as you may be entitled to substantial compensation. But hurry, as time is running out to file a claim. Call 800-413-5784 right now to see if you are eligible for substantial compensation. Call 800-413-5784. That's 800-413-5784. 800-413-5784.
These days, people are holding on to their vehicles longer than normal. Since supply is down, auction prices for used cars are up, meaning your trade is worth a lot more to us. So right now at University Kia, get up to $5,000 over Kelley Blue Book fair market value for any trade during the Summer Stickers sales event. Drive home a new 2020 Kia Soul for only $189 per month. Now available, the all-new 2021 Kia Telluride, 8-passenger SUV with touchscreen display, backup warning, increased towing capacity, and much more. And don't prejudge your credit. If you bring home $350 per week, University Kia wants to approve your credit today.
This is off receipt. My name is on the door, and I'm on the floor. If you're not 100% satisfied, please don't leave until you see me.
Get up to $5,000 over Kelley Blue Book fair market value for any trade. Only at University Kia. Online at universitykia.com. VIN number 717561. With approved credit through TD Auto. 1,000 down, 84 months at 4.5% APR plus tax, tag, title, license, and $7.99 dealer fee. All factory rebates to dealer. Negative equity refinance. Offers don't combine. Expires 10/4/20.
Are you ready for what's next? It's likely coming. More food shortages, power outages, grocery stores closed, social unrest. Ask yourself, do you have enough food and supplies on hand to last at least 30 days? Most Americans do not, but you can. Avoid the panic of the last-minute rush. Order your 4-week supply of emergency food today from mypatriotsupply.com. Starvation or dependency on the government are your only alternatives. Avoid those and the pain of being unprepared. Go to mypatriotsupply.com right now. Build your emergency food supply with meals that last up to 25 years in storage, shipped discreetly to your door. Folks that know what's coming are using today to prepare. There's time for you to do the same. That's mypatriotsupply.com, the original Patriot Preparedness Company. mypatriotsupply.com.
So how are you keeping your sanity these days when you're spending so much time at home? One way is to get more organized so you can feel more in control during these crazy times. Hello, Huntsville. Kurt Schustman here, owner of California Closets Huntsville. We've been helping Tennessee Valley homeowners get more organized for over 30 years. And it's not just about closets. Many people don't realize we're the leaders in designing virtually any room in a home that needs better organization, including home offices, a home and study area for the kids, an improved TV media center, or one of our incredible space-saving garage systems. One of our most popular systems these days is converting that extra bedroom into a combination home office with a Murphy bed. If you've ever thought about getting organized with California Closets, there has never been a better time. Call us now about our Buy More, Save More promotion, where you can save up to 20% off any California Closet system, plus a free in-home or virtual design consultation and free installation. Check us out at CaliforniaClosets.com.
770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. Depend on it.
Yeah, now he knows how to pronounce.
Welcome back to Afternoons here on WVNN. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded host of Hometown Heartbeat, every single morning right here on the smartest radio station in the smartest state of the country, right here at WVNN. That's probably all a lie, except for the fact that I am a host here on WVNN every morning. You are obviously... We are guest hosting this morning. LT is not in. And so with me today, I have Greg Wise and Chi-Town Eric, which if you are familiar with my show at all, you are familiar with him. He is a favorite guest of the show and also was with us on Labor Day for the entire 5-hour jaunt that we did yesterday. It was fantastic.
And I thank you for that, Zach.
No, I thank you for that, Eric.
It paid well?
No comment.
Yeah, I can tell you, you know what? I'm going to give you a raise.
I appreciate that.
I'm going to raise you from a walk to a run.
You're going to get 20% more than what you got yesterday.
You know what, though, Greg? I'm storing up my treasures in there.
Amen. That's right, bro.
Let me tell you something. Now, Eric will take you to church. Eric is at our first show together. He came in, and look, I'm all about it now. Don't let me twist this up.
Amen.
But we are we're a Christian. We're Christians doing a radio show. It's not a Christian show.
There you go.
And so our first 4 segments, my man was bringing the gospel in every single. And I'm talking about taking these folks to church every segment. I finally said, "Hey, man, hey." I'm all about that. I'm all about that. So don't let me take away from. But you've knocked them out. You've been swinging that Bible. And you've hit them.
They got it.
You thumping them with it. I said they got. Now let's circle back to it once. Once every other segment. It was fun. It was awesome though. It was great. And then we had the Mason segment where we did that, and that was a huge response to that. We talked about Mason and his tragic passing, and I don't know if you heard that. Oh wait, no, I know you didn't because you don't listen to our show.
I heard that, and then I heard your. I don't even want to call it a eulogy.
It was the service
at the service, and that was the Spirit of God moving through you in that whole conversation that you had, and I could feel the love, but more so than that, I was moved by the Spirit moving in you, and so. But I say, God gives me opportunity. And whatever opportunity he gives me, I make the most. And like say, if he'd have said the first time, okay, that's enough of that, Eric, thanks but no thanks, that was my season. Mm-hmm. But at least I got a chance to move out of the Spirit's way and say what he wanted me to say.
Amen.
That's right.
So that's what he does. I mean, we're all about. Look, we're all about the same thing. If you've not heard,
amen.
If you've not heard our show or our platform, let me back up and tell you a little bit about who we are. Hometown Heartbeat exists as a podcast. It was a podcast that was started in the coronavirus. We kicked it off in March, really because the consumption of content was through the roof, right? And so we wanted to really jump into that and really kind of have the opportunity to grow through that, and some 60 days later, or let me back up, 60 episodes later, we did it every single day. We did it every single day for an hour, and 60 days later, we had an opportunity to jump on the radio. And so we did, well, let me back up. We wanted a Saturday. We wanted 1 hour on a Saturday just to kind of ease into radio a little bit and see what would happen. And as you can tell, there was nothing easing into anything because that's not really my nature, nor is it my personality.
You drove off the cliff.
Yeah, at a high rate of speed. And so we feel like this is something that we didn't choose. God put it on us. And we are fortunate to have the platform that we've been given. And we don't take it lightly by any stretch. This is we are overly cognizant of the weight of the platform, and having this microphone in front of my face with 10 to 15,000 people listening to me at any given time, there's no day off. There's no moment of rest or of levity, if you will. Now, we are going to have a great time. We're going to have a blast, but everything I say has a purpose to it. It has a meaning behind it. It's something that we feel like God has given us, and we want to be good stewards of that, just like everything else we have in our life. And so that kind of got us to where we're at. And now that we're here, it's one of those things where we try not to squander any moment, any second that we have, every moment that we have, we're going to make the absolute most of it, and we're going to have fun, but we're going to do it in a way that we talked about it this morning. We talked about how we don't have to, or maybe it was yesterday. I think it was yesterday we talked about it. We don't have to beat people over the head with that proverbial Bible, right? It's not about that. What it is, it's about living your life in such a way that in all that you do, Christ is evident. Like the grace. I mean, I was a drug addict and a drunk that 6 years ago was on the brink of losing everything I had. Literally. My wife, the money, everything. And honestly, I did lose every penny that we had. Every dime, every nickel that we had to our name was gone. And so God radically transformed my life through the gospel. And that's something that we want to share with you, but we want to share it through our life. We'll also be happy to. Well, hey, look, I'll bring the gospel.
Yes, you will.
I will walk you through.
I've heard them.
Yeah, and we're not going to stop doing that. But at the end of the day, it's less about me getting on here and preaching at you. You go do that on Sunday mornings, and we want you to go do that. If you're not plugged into a church family, let us know. We'd love to help you find one. But here, it's all about good, clean, fun with a Christian. We are a constitutionally conservative, Christ-centered talk radio show, and that's exactly what we are. That's exactly how we sum ourselves up. And
we throw sports in it too, don't we?
Oh, I like to tell people we're like Rick and Bubba back when they were still funny.
I'm not touching that.
When they were in Gadsden. No, I'm a big Rick and Bubba fan. Look, shout out to Rick and Bubba. Love you guys. You're great. I'm sure they're listening, but no,
they are.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Yeah, they tune in to 92.5 on a regular basis.
There you go.
And then they count their millions of dollars
Hometown
and go
heartbeat.
straight back to the house. So, anyways, that's a little bit about who we are. Let's go to a break. When we come back, we've been saying we're going to jump into California and the rolling blockouts for 5 segments now. So maybe this time we'll actually get to it. After the break, we will dive into what it's like to be a communist, a.k.a. living in California.
Considered a liar if you don't talk about
I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host of Hometown Heartbeat here every morning, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. on WVNN, and we'll be right back.
Where Alabama talks. WVNN. Depend on it. Here's your weather update from the Way 31 Storm Tracker Weather Center on News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Tuesday will be slightly warmer than Labor Day for North Alabama. The sunny skies continue with highs near 90 today, and will stay dry through Wednesday, but by Thursday all the way through this weekend, look for gradually increasing rain chances, but even this weekend, it will not be a washout. From the Way 31 Storm Tracker Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Rob Elvington.
Variety and price. What else can you say about Alabama's oldest smoke shop, the Humidor Pipe Shop?
I smoke cigars and pipes, both.
Being the oldest shop, they've got brands that have been around a long time, but they also have all the new brands as well.
I've traveled all over the country, and this is as singularly as good a place to buy variety as I've ever found. The prices are significantly better than anybody else around.
The Humidor Pipe Shop, Memorial Parkway Southwest. Now open Sundays, noon to 6.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Your Retirement Matters with Chris Wallace of WG Financial. Saturdays at 7, 8:30, and noon. And Sunday mornings at 8 and 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Start your retirement planning this weekend. Listen every Saturday at 7, 8:30, and noon. And Sunday morning at 8 and 9 to Your Retirement Matters with Chris Wallace. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Stay informed and entertained all day long. Only on WVNN.
Welcome back to Afternoons here on WVNN. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host of Hometown Heartbeat every single day. Right here from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. You can go to our website at www.thehometownheartbeat.com to get our podcast. You can download it right there or subscribe to it right there at the top. And that will allow you to listen to our show every single day, archived straight to your phone, no commercials. And then you don't even have to wake up at 5 a.m. and you get the smartest show on radio. So that would, look, that's what I would do if I wanted to be intelligent. So we've got online for our favorite caller, Sparky. Sparky, I have one question for you before you get to your topic. Do you just sit around and listen to WVNN all day?
No, I just happen to be in the vehicle at the right time of day.
You just really like me, and so you just try to find me at every opportunity. Is that correct? No, I'm giving you a hard time. I'm giving you a hard time, Sparky.
Well, it's only called stalking if it's unwelcome.
He likes it.
I like that. I like that, Sparky.
What do you got for us?
Actually called talk. Well, I was going to talk on the topic of the election, but I wanted to comment on your last segment, actually. Some of the best people I've ever met in my life, I came to know them as human beings, giving, caring, generous, just awesome people long before I knew they were Christians, because they didn't hang that out there. They lived their life by what we consider proper Christian principles, the golden rule and all, and in the process, you come to know them to be Christians, and they don't wear it like an affectation, if you know what I'm saying. Softball dad, Harley Davidson guy with the wallet and the chain and everything. It's not a affectation or appearance. It's foundational. You know what I mean? You see the house.
Sure.
You don't see the foundation. And anyway, just wanted to
keep
that praise on you. I like where your mind's at, and I like how the show was founded.
Well, I appreciate that. So, what do you got? Let's talk about some elections.
Well, I think we're seeing, and there's no doubt, there's two things going on with the Democrats, I believe, and I'm an independent. I've actually, in my life, voted for as many Democrat presidents as independents as Republicans, but I'm getting older. I'm extremely conservative now, but I believe the Democrats are poised to lose and lose badly. I think Joe Biden and Miss Harris is a really horrible combination, not believable or likable, and in the case of poor old Joe, not even mentally competent. And between the attempts to steal an election by mail-in voter fraud, and on the other hand, pave the way to make it look like Donald Trump is trying to suppress the vote by trying to suppress their voter fraud, they're setting themselves up for a horrific loss that they're going to immediately challenge in court and trying to hold things up to keep the man from being inaugurated for the second time. And talk about who goes to the Super Bowl making every plan for what they're going to do when they lose the big game. You know what I mean? And that's everything I'm seeing from the DNC and the party. And when they do lose, they deserve everything they get, I guess.
No, I think you're spot on. Thank you for the call, Sparky. I appreciate that. I think he's spot on, and I'm curious to hear that he said that he thinks that the Democrats are poised to lose and lose big. That's not something you hear out there right now amongst especially people that call themselves, quote, independents. I want to comment on that for a second, too. And I say this all the time during my show in the morning, but many of you may not be listening at 5 a.m. So let me say this. I am a Christian, and I am a follower and believer, and I am involved in politics in the smallest capacity I feel like I should be and can be and be effective, really only because we got an opportunity to have a talk show that's on a news talk station that has lots of politics. It's not my particular choice of topics, but I can't ignore it because there's a responsibility to it given the platform. And so that being said, I that's where I land. Now, I am not a Republican. I am like, if there was a political party that we could define as the gospel party, that would be my party, right? Because my policy and the way that I vote and the way that I feel and the way that I want to see policy turned out and dictated is through the lens of the gospel. Now, understand what I said, the lens of the gospel. There is if you could imagine, Mitch Hedberg is one of my favorite comedians of all time. He's a little, may he rest in peace, a little bit rough. I wouldn't go Google that name if you're sensitive to that type of stuff. But this was a different time in my life. And he always wore those like pink glasses. And for me, it's the perfect example of the gospel lens that I'm talking about, because you have a filter, a film, something that everything has to pass through on its way to being written into law or written into whatever, into your life, into your heart, into your obedience, into your daily, like you want to go buy something, you and your wife, it should pass through that lens. Everything that you do in your life should pass through this lens, this filter. Politics is no different, right? And so from that perspective, it's incredibly difficult to live in the world of a two-party system because neither party passes the lens test, the gospel lens test, 100%. Let me tell you something. For those of you in the back, listen up. Jesus was not a white Southern Republican. I'll wait.
Amen.
Jesus was not a white Southern Republican. Jesus would not build a wall and deport them all. Jesus would not. There are things that are wildly uncomfortable for a lot of you out there right now driving home in your car saying, who is this guy? Who is this guy talking about my Republicans like that? Jesus is not, he was not a Republican. I would say that he wouldn't be a Republican if he was walking the earth today. Honestly, for me personally, if I could identify with one party the most, I would say it would be libertarian if we could get the moral issues. They have some moral, like the moral issues I lose the libertarians on. But when it comes to life and liberty and personal freedom and you know, small government interference in your life and huge individual freedom, the Libertarian Party is where I land. I just can't go there with them on the moral issues. But I did want to address what he said as an independent, like, you should all be walking around, and if you call yourself a Christian, if you claim that, if you do put it out there, let me tell you something. You don't always live what you profess with your mouth. I think we can all say that's an absolute fact. We all know that guy. I was that guy. When I went on my first date with my wife, I argued with her over the essentialness of baptism. I was as lost could be. Had we died in a car accident on our way to that Texas Roadhouse, rather, I would have gone straight through the gates of hell. Okay? Hear that. But the first thing I did when we got in the car was argued over a denominational difference because she was Baptist, I was Church of Christ. I wasn't a Christian, but I was religious. We all know that guy that says with his mouth, I'm a Christian. But when you look at his life, you see zero evidence of that. It's called cultural Christianity. I would argue that it is the largest unsaved people group in the world.
True.
I think there are, and honestly, there's a book that just came out by Dean and Sarah that is unbelievable. But the cultural Christian, especially down here in the Bible Belt, especially where we live, because there are a bunch of people that have been to church every Sunday. They're in church every time the door's open. Yeah. Don't know Jesus. Don't have a personal relationship with Jesus. So that being said, you're like, politically speaking, Sparky hit the nail on the head. He's voted multiple different ways across because he's chosen individual candidates based on individual merits that have passed through a filter. And I'm telling you that you should do the same, except for if you claim a believer, if you claim to be a follower of Christ, that lens that everything should pass through is the gospel, which makes it wildly uncomfortable when it's time to talk about immigration. Wildly uncomfortable when it's time to talk about the fiscal responsibility of the wildly uncomfortable. There's a lot of things that being a Republican, a conservative, a true rhino, partisan Republican, or partisan Democrat, that you absolutely cannot agree with if you're a Christian. Period. End of story. That's not up for debate. That's a fact. That is a fact. Now, that being said, those lines can be defined by the interpretation of scriptures, and all of that is a process of being sanctified. That we come to faith in Christ as an infant, right? As a spiritual infant, we are a baby on milk and baby food, and over time, as a Christian in our walk, we graduate to solid food and steak and potatoes and meat. And as that definition happens, as that maturity and that growth happens, now all of a sudden the lens of the gospel becomes so much. It changes every day. I know Jesus differently today than I knew him yesterday. God reveals things to me regularly that I didn't understand the day before, the week before, yesterday, Eric, the conversation we had. We might not have agreed when it was all said and done, but we both saw a different point of view. And if we're truly seeking the Lord, we're both going to go home and say, you know what? I trust that brother. I know that brother is seeking God in his heart. How could we possibly have disagreed so much? Lord, reveal something to me. If I'm wrong on this, reveal something to me. And look, you may not have been wrong. I may not have been wrong. It may have just been opinion. And it may have just been, not everything is a matter of right and wrong. It's a matter of, I tell people all the time, when you choose to argue with believers, you better make sure you arguing over salvation issues. There's a lot of issues that are procedural, that are, tradition. that is so it's pomp and circumstance, if you will, of religion. I think if Jesus walked the earth today, his biggest gripe, his most frustrating point would be denominations, if I had to be honest with you. Because all 16 letters from Paul, unified church. There ain't nothing unified about the American church today. We want to divide ourselves over denominational differences. Now, mind you, some of them we should absolutely be divided over. But some of them are not worth the fight because they are procedural. They're traditions, their comfort. Anyways, you're listening to Afternoons on WVNN. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded host of WVNN Hometown Heartbeat every single day, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. right here. Go to thehometownheartbeat.com. At the top, you can download the podcast. You get the show archived every single day, straight to your phone, no commercials. Myself, Greg, and Chi-Town Eric will be right back.
WVNN, depend on it. WVNN Athens, WVNN FM Trinity, a Cumulus station. It's 4 o'clock. News starts now.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Daring air rescues in California with dozens of campers and hikers airlifted by National Guard helicopters out of the Sierra National Forest in Fresno County today. Emotional reunions and relief for families. 14-year-old Ethan Tao described the wait to be rescued.
It was kind of hard to breathe, but then I got through it because I stayed in the car most of the time.
Dangerous fires also burning in Southern California with Santa Ana winds and record-high temperatures fueling blazes. Numerous retirements announced in the Rochester Police Department today, including the police chief. It comes as the city deals with unrest over the death of Daniel Prude back in March. The 41-year-old black man shown on video with officers covering his head with a spit hood.
A major shakeup in leadership of the Rochester Police Department as the city deals with unrest following the death of Daniel Prude. The entire command staff, including the chief and deputy chiefs, are retiring. City Council President Loretta Scott says it's effective September 29th. In making that announcement, Mayor Lovely Warren said the chief was not asked to resign. Lionel Moise, ABC News.
President Trump campaigning today, signing off on a moratorium on offshore oil drilling from Florida to South Carolina.
The president making an unexpected flip on offshore oil drilling when just 3 years ago he wanted to allow oil wells at sea along much of the U.S. coastline. Now,
a presidential order extending the moratorium on offshore drilling on Florida's Gulf Coast.
The president expanding it to Florida's Atlantic, Georgia, and North Carolina coast. Environmental groups claim the president has gutted most protections, and this was done just to secure Florida votes. Andy Field, ABC News, Washington.
A so-called skinny coronavirus relief Senate bill, a pared-down version of the Democrats, will hit the Senate floor for a vote. Democrats say it falls short, though, on giving out-of-work Americans enough relief to pay for rent and buy groceries. You're listening to ABC News.
During these unprecedented times, we know you're all worried about your family's health, your job, and paying your bills. Stop the endless debt cycle, especially now. Be proactive and take advantage of unique programs in place to help you get free of your debt. Don't wait for the bills to pile up and the banks to breathe down your neck. The program at Total Financial Freedom can help you get free of credit card debt, internet and signature loans, and even timeshares. You pay only a fraction of what you owe, and they even offer a guarantee. Call now at 800-899-8922 to see if you can qualify and receive a free book written by our CEO, the Debt Dietitian. A+ rated, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands get debt relief without considering bankruptcy. During these stressful times, debt doesn't need to add to it. Call now, 800-899-8922, and get your free copy of the book to help you at 800-899-8922. That's 800-899-8922.
A top Department of Homeland Security official warning Americans that election night, just 2 months away now, will be a long one. The head of cybersecurity and infrastructure protection for DHS, Chris Krebs, is urging patience and citing that the expected increase in absentee ballots. He's also stressing that ballots will be safe.
Based on the work we've done over the last 3.5 years, this will be the most secure election
in history, in modern history. But I'm not resting here. We're not resting on our laurels.
In Chicago, some good news. Even though more than 50 people were shot over Labor Day weekend, that's an improvement.
Despite the number of shooting victims exceeding 50 over the weekend, the city has seen a steady decline in gun violence since the beginning of the summer. Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
No one's satisfied. No one's taking a victory lap, but we're clearly seeing progress. If you look at August compared to July, we saw a 45% reduction in homicides, a 15% reduction in shootings.
The mayor is calling for stricter gun control measures at the federal level. Ryan Burrow, ABC News, Chicago.
He's called the world's loneliest elephant, and now he's getting a new place to call home. The animal has been living at a rundown zoo in Pakistan for more than 35 years and has been suffering after losing his partner 8 years ago. But now he's finally received a clearance to travel. He'll likely be transferred to Cambodia, where he can find companionship and better conditions. This is ABC News.
Balance of Nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I love the product. It's making me feel young again. I'm 84 years old, and I feel 50. So I'll tell you, it is a wonder. And that's why I want to make sure that I always get it on time. I don't want to miss a dose.
Balance of Nature is now offering 35% off on any new preferred order. Go to balanceofnature.com today and use discount code FRUITS.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
One of the things about the humidor is it's probably got the greatest variety of any tobacco shop in Huntsville.
I come down here because the variety of accessibility of the different types of cigars that they have.
Great selection of cigars, and they have the best selection of cigars around at a good price.
Buy it, smoke it here, hang out with the guys.
Great pipe selection, great tobacco selection. They do a great job of taking care of the customer, and that's what counts.
The Humidor Pipe Shop, Memorial Parkway Southwest. Now open Sundays, noon to 6. You really want to help? During the pandemic, domestic violence has increased and is a serious concern. Ray of Hope has proven to help victims of domestic violence for 15 years with safe houses, crisis hotlines, and counseling. Real services, real help. Each dollar you give to a Ray of Hope HSV on GoFundMe is worth 10 grant dollars. If you truly want to help your community, this is the way. Go to Array of Hope HSV on GoFundMe to help now.
WVNN.
Welcome back to Afternoons here on WVNN. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded host of Hometown Heartbeat, right here every single day on WVNN from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Let's be honest, you might not be up at that time, and I don't blame you. I wouldn't be either if it wasn't for a radio show. So if you're not and you like what you're hearing here this afternoon, let me implore you to go to www.thehometownheartbeat.com. Watch live, listen live, download the podcast. Everything you need is right there on that website. It's a great resource for all things big, beautiful, and bearded. And let's be honest. Why wouldn't you want to listen to the smartest show on the radio? You can also find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at Bearded Host WVNN. We're finally going to get to a segment that we've been talking about since I think we teased it at 2:00.
Yeah, that was about 2 hours ago.
We teased the rolling blackouts in California and what it would be like to be a communist, because those two things go hand in hand. By the way, poll. Do I say too much?
It's your show, Zach, man.
Yeah, that's not the question I asked.
It's your shtick.
I haven't noticed it.
Okay.
So
Me either.
Listen, there are some listeners out there that are blowing up my. Oh, let me tell you. Quit saying so much. Quit saying so much. Quit saying and then hey, then they'll tell you that was. That's bad radio. And they're critiquing segments. They're critiquing. I'm like, hey, I tell you what. When you get a radio show and people are paying you to talk into a microphone, then you call me and tell me what's good and bad radio. So I'm just curious. I love listeners and their critiques and their – look, if I don't listen to the people, I'm not going to be on here very long. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the people. It's all about what they want. So I'm always trying to stay on top of my game here and what's good and what's bad. So let me know. Let me know what you like and what you don't like. And if I don't like what you have to say, I probably won't respond. But I still want to hear it. So we're going to talk about California. They are, first of all, we've got the fires going on, okay? And I just want to address why that happens, because every single year there's this huge hullabaloo about dangerous and deadly fires, property destruction through the roof. I'm talking about through the roof. And why? Why does it happen in California? Is it just a freaky climate and it's just well, no, because it didn't used to happen like this. So let me tell you why it's happening the way it's happening. A couple of things. One, when you change the natural flow of the water for a fish that doesn't nobody care about, that's on the endangered species list, and you create these crazy droughts because you want to protect some stupid little animal that doesn't nobody care about, but the one person who, again, it's the 2% of the extreme left and 2% of the extreme right that take up 85% of the news cycle of the volume. It's always the silent majority that's the loudest voice in the room. Always. Just to be clear, look at 2016's polls and then look who won. Look at this year. Look at the polls. And I can guarantee you Sparky's spot on. It's going to be a big victory for the right. But the reason you and me both, because if it's not, now listen, all authority is from God. It's put in place by God to do something one way or the other. So the outcome in November is going to be what it is, and it's all going to work for the glory of the one who's making it happen.
That's it.
What is it? Roman says that it's going to do one or two things. It's going to punish you, or it's going to bless you.
Mm-hmm.
All authority is installed for one or two reasons. So we will make it no matter what, and we cannot live in a spirit of fear based on, what happens if Sleepy Joe? Well, the stock of Depends, the adult diaper, is going to go through the roof, for one. You bet on that, buy stock. And two, God's got it. So it is what it is.
That's it.
But in California, the drought situation, the man-made drought situation is one problem. Problem numero dos, we're not going to cut fire lanes, fire strips because of the forest. So let me break this down. Let me break it down for you.
Break it down.
We're not going to cut fire lanes in the forest because we want to save a 5, 10, 15-foot strip of trees, and instead we're going to burn down hundreds of thousands of acres because we're ignorant.
Yes.
Greg, I love it when that's what Greg, that's what Greg's been doing all day. I bring this big passionate point, he'll go, yes.
You are correct.
Yes.
God bless the environmentalists.
Yeah. Hug that tree all the way as it burns to the ground.
Bless them, Lord. Bless them, Lord.
God bless them. Back up, Terry. Oh, Lord, Terry. Anyway, so now we're in this situation. Now we got these rolling blackouts. Why is this happening?
In the self-professed greatest state in the union.
Oh, yeah. The greatest state in the union where you can't even
keep the power on.
I saw a tweet yesterday.
I love TVA, don't y'all?
Oh, praise the Lord.
I love Browns Ferry nuclear plant.
Yeah. For
all you guys out there listening that work at Browns Ferry, I love you guys.
Yeah. I love you.
Keep that power rolling, guys.
Amen.
Because I keep my house on, I don't
70.
No.
Mine's on 70. Is that too hot?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you ought to see.
68.
Yes, sir. There he is. What's your? We need to play a game. Whose power bill is more expensive? Good gracious!
Y'all got that radio money.
Yeah.
The lie you telling.
Oh,
but
yeah, you tell them. We write that check at the end of the month every single month.
But the thing is, it's so hot out there. And me being a polar bear in Alabama,
polar bear,
I need air conditioning even if I go broke.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yes.
Well, you may go broke. But why? So why is this happening? Anybody got we were talking about it. Who said? Somebody was telling me. Was it one of y'all? Was telling me why it's going down the way it's going down.
Well, the policies of the liberal democratic machine in California. I guess you can say or start with Governor Jerry Jones and a
Gavin
lot of
Newsom.
His policies, because it takes time for these asinine policies that they put in place for the repercussions of those things to happen. And that's why I mentioned Jerry Jones. And you got the trees growing over the phone lines, and they are not allowed to cut the trees, trim the trees, because I don't know, Spotted Owl or whatever they're saving or protecting. And this is these decisions that they put into law, that they make, have effects on the environment in a negative way, and we're seeing it unfold as we watch the news and see what's going on with California. And like you say, they have these fires every year.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
big ones.
And for a long time, I thought that it was just natural. And then, you know, the ignorance gave way to knowledge, and I learned, you know, and I was like, wow, man did this purposely? And they keep voting these people in. Jerry Brown.
Who's Jerry Brown?
He was a former governor of of California. He was for a long time. Then he got out, and he got voted back in.
And now it's Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, now it's Gavin Newsom. But
look, he makes.
It's crazy.
Never mind. I was gonna say.
And you just. I mean, it's what blows me away is these people who live in California, the movers and the shakers, if you will, the people who got the money, and they still don't get it.
Let me read you this quote here from Politico. The exact route of California's rolling blackouts is still unclear as more power outages loom, and that's allowed everyone to point fingers. Energy experts Monday cited a litany of potential causes for the rotating outages that affected hundreds of thousands of California residents on Friday and Saturday night. Ballooning demand, inadequate transmission, here it is, ding, 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 an over-reliance on renewable energy, and natural gas plant challenges during hot weather. So two things. You could say ballooning demand and inadequate transmission. So ballooning demand, not the fault of the government. Whatever it is, maybe allowing the overcrowding in the population to get what it is without, point number two, without creating an infrastructure capable of handling it, which creates your inadequate transmission. But here's the real key. The over-reliance on renewable energy, the over-reliance on an unproven, emotional, just swing and hope you hit it kind of a thing. Oh, well, we're going to placate the environmentalist. Renewable. It doesn't work.
Exactly.
It doesn't work. And then here, the last one, the natural gas plant challenges during hot weather. So obviously, their gas plants are not doing well in the hot weather. So we're going to go to a break. We've got a phone call that we're going to talk to Brian in Decatur when we come back from the break about the California regulations. Maybe he knows more than we do. That wouldn't be hard. We don't know a ton about this, but we're going to go to a break now, and we'll check in with Brian when we get back from. Oh, that's right. It's a hard break. Okay. Hey, there it is. When we come back, you're listening to Afternoons on WVNN. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded host. I will be right back.
Weather Report, sponsored by Napa Auto Parts. With thousands of locally owned Napa stores across the nation, chances are that wherever you call home, they do too. So whether you stop by your local Napa Auto Parts store, Napa Auto Parts Center, or visit Napa online, you can count on Napa know-how.
Here's your weather update from the Way 31 Storm Tracker Weather Center on News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
We've got one more fairly comfortable, cool start to our day for Wednesday morning. Tonight, it's mostly clear. Overnight lows into the mid-60s, and that's where we start our Wednesday. By the afternoon, highs near 90 degrees. Expect a mostly sunny sky. Similar weather for Thursday. Slight chance for a shower. From the Way 31 Storm Tracker Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Kate McKenna.
Don't miss Wednesday's Dale Jackson Show. We'll be talking with Cameron Smith, a new columnist at AO.com. We got a lot to discuss with that guy. He's worked in D.C. here recently as well. So don't miss it. Dale Jackson Show, 7 to 11 a.m. right here on WVNN.
The only way to go is in a Bankston motorhome.
Want to enjoy autumn colors and cooler weather this fall? Make precious memories that will last a lifetime in a new RV from Bankston Motorhome.
The only way to go.
Like the Keystone Montana Model 3781 rear living on sale for only $470 per month. This fifth wheel features a residential refrigerator, a kitchen island, and solid surface countertops with fabulous upgrades like power recliners, maple cabinetry, and dual vanity in the bath. This RV is luxury on wheels.
The only way to go.
Check out the Keystone Montana 3781 rear living on sale this month for only $470 per month with 10% down plus TTNL and approved credit.
The only way to go is in a Bankston motorhome.
Stock number 111036 is online at bankstonmotorhomes.com.
When was the last time you set an alarm clock for Saturday morning? Saturday. It's the you can do anything you want day of the week. But wait, in 2 days, it'll be Monday. Your alarm goes off and it seems like everyone is going to control your schedule. But what if every day could feel like a Saturday? Retirement can feel like that, but you should start making plans today. Hi, I'm Tony Hill, the host of the Retire with Freedom radio show, and we are your everyday can be Saturday retirement planners. We can help you make plans to have the income you need to retire and stay retired. Imagine waking up every morning without an alarm. Is it Saturday? It sure feels like Saturday, and if that's the kind of retirement you want, call us at 205-988-0006. We will help you put together your Retire with Freedom plan so that you can have that Saturday feeling every day of the week. Call 205-988-0006 right now. That's 205-988-0006.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
For over 45 years, Larry's Pistol and Pawn has given you the best in guns and ammo, jewelry, and loans. They also buy gold. The value of gold is high, and so you can salvage it right now. You can pawn or sell your gold and jewelry, or anything of any value. And while you're here, shop through their huge selection of guns and jewelry. And don't forget, they offer free layaway. Larry's Pistol and Pawn. In Madison at Greenbrier Exit 3, by the big rusty water tower. If you don't know jewelry, know your jeweler. And if Larry says it's so, it's so.
Where Alabama talks. WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Afternoons here on WVNN. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded host of Hometown Heartbeat right here on WVNN every single day from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. We have on the line Brian from Decatur wanted to talk about California. Brian, bring it in here, buddy. You got some information for us? Okay, Brian, are you there? Copper, did we lose? Oh, he's gone. Okay.
He gone.
Brian, he gone. He probably heard our last segment and was like, man, those guys know so much about it that, no, I'm just kidding.
I bet his power got turned off.
It probably did. It did. I mean, Decatur, California.
Blackout.
Blackout conditions. We're here talking a little bit off air in the break about football. It's football. Boys, can you believe that on Saturday we will have college football back?
I did not know that. You're telling me
well,
something.
You didn't know that?
Yeah.
What do you mean you didn't know that?
Hey, well, this Corona thing has got,
What good self-respecting Southern red-blooded male didn't know that the foosball's back?
Well, I'm Midwestern, so,
Yeah, we don't claim you either.
That might explain it.
I mean, what do you think about it, Greg? I mean,
I'm
it's
pumped, man.
Saturday.
Yeah, I'm pumped. There was a few games on this past week.
Yeah, there was a game last night.
It wasn't much of a game.
And I think Kirk Herbstreit, he sounded real disappointed.
The Mormons were there.
They came out in force.
The military did not show up.
No, the Mormon and it was
Who
Mormon
played?
versus
Navy?
military.
BYU and Navy.
Okay, BYU. Okay, well,
It was-
BYU has a good team. They
It was
always
the
have.
Storm and Mormons versus the midshipmen, and the Storm and
The
Mormons
ship
went all
sunk.
Joseph Smith on them. You know what I'm saying?
The ship sunk.
Battleship
Hey, no lie.
B5.
I read an article this morning where Navy's head coach took all responsibility because he said his guys did not hit live at all during fall camp. And,
Wow.
And so that game last night was the first real contact time they've had. And he said, we got murdered. We got
You can't do that with football.
Yeah,
No.
he said at least they would usually have scrimmages. They didn't even do that.
See, no. So those guys, they don't even have their legs.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right, and you could tell.
Yeah,
they were on their backsides most of the time.
Matter
So they
of
didn't have any
fact,
legs.
they're talking about as far as the schools, the colleges, they're worrying about coronavirus and getting sick. That right there could have caused some serious injuries. That
Yeah.
should not have been allowed.
Correct.
Not football, especially college
We're
football.
also working on our week 4 of high school football.
Yeah.
in North
That's
Alabama.
awesome. That's awesome.
Cool thing. Hadn't had a lot of crazy corona, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it, outbreaks or anything like that. Still playing
Awesome.
football,
Awesome.
so that's great.
And you say your son plays for who?
He plays for Ardmore up in North Limestone County. They are 3-0.
Okay, a little shout out to
That's all
Ardmore.
right. That's
1-0 in the region.
That's
Got a
all
big region game coming up this week.
Awesome.
There's a couple other good programs.
They
in the county.
undefeated. Do you hear that? Undefeated.
They are undefeated.
That's all right.
Athens put that whooping on Columbia the other night.
Sure did.
My wife's a physical
Smackdown.
therapist, and
Okay.
she was working on one of the football players and asked him. My wife doesn't know much about high school football.
I was about to say I thought you were going to say she doesn't know much about physical therapy.
No, Lord, no. My wife, honestly,
I was about
like
to say doghouse.
I give my wife a hard time about just about everything. You know that.
Yeah.
I mean, but when it comes to that, she is. I mean, she knew what she wanted to do young.
Okay.
And so her life was, I mean, literally, she went to high school knowing that's what she went to college. So she pursued that very, very seriously and very responsibly, kind of like her husband, real responsible student and all that. Who am I talking about? I got kicked out of 3 colleges. But she is the best when it comes to physical therapy.
So you were 3-0 too? Or you're 0-3?
No, I'm 0-3. No, actually 0-4 if you want to count.
I like that.
If we're counting community colleges, 0-4. But it was no. She is really, really good at that. But she doesn't know much about football, and so she was asking one of the kids about, you think you guys are going to win? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, baby, I don't think Columbia's won a game in 3 years. Like, that was a pretty easy call there. But no, they came out, they played well, put it on them. But yeah, I mean, Bob Jones and James Clemens played. There's going to be there's a squad over there. And
that Clemens, that's the old Johnson, right? Or no?
Who?
Is that the old Johnson?
No, James Clemens is the new.
I don't
school
know
on
anything.
County
No,
line.
I'm thinking about Jemison. I'm sorry.
It's in Limestone County, but it's
okay.
I think it's
my
Madison
mistake.
City School.
I was thinking about the wrong name school.
I don't know anything about any of that. But this Saturday we got.
He doesn't keep up with the hometown heartbeat, so.
Oh
That's
my
why we're
gosh!
here.
It's just a title, huh?
Oh my gosh!
If it's not
Or
national,
is this
if
real
it's not-
life?
If it's not national
Is this real life?
newsworthy, Zach is out. Hometown heartbeat.
You played yourself, Zach.
False.
Look, I would expect you to be able. If I lob a big slow pitch softball up there and you were to miss it, I would just be disappointed. So,
Appreciate it.
congratulations, you did your job.
That's why I'm here.
No pat on the back, no cookies. But did you see we already have one coach resigned?
Yes.
We're on the hot seat. Already on the hot seat.
Is college or high school?
College,
No, that was
college.
Southern-
Talking to the microphone. If you don't
Southern Miss, they got blowed out, I think.
blowed out.
If I'm not mistaken, last week.
Who did they play?
I can't remember. I have to look it up.
He took over the Southern Miss program prior to 2016. He went 28-23 overall with a 20-12 record in Conference USA over the past 4 seasons. He led the Golden Eagles to 3 bowl games, but never finished higher than second.
They didn't get blowed
No,
out. They
it's
just got-
32-21.
Well, yeah, but they got beat by South Alabama.
What is that bad?
Well, South Alabama-
South Alabama's
Is basically,
Yeah,
that's
FBS.
Okay.
That's like you
FBS,
play them to
FCS.
get
I got you.
warmed
Yeah. Okay. Well, that I guess that's that. Thanks
He
for
gone. Rolling blackout. He gone.
Right. You're getting your stride, and we got 32 minutes
32
left, and
minutes.
you finally catching your
I
stride.
told you I was ramping up.
Glad you could join us. Glad you could join us. So we've got big games this week. We've got UAB and Miami. That'll be a real barn burner. Eastern Kentucky and West Virginia.
I'm curious about UAB.
I like
Baylor and Louisiana Tech. Oh, okay, cool. Well, shout out to my wife's alma mater, Louisiana Tech. Go Dogs.
Shout out.
Go Dogs. There's not a, let's see, I'm trying to see, Duke and Notre Dame. That'll be the SAT Bowl. There's not a single game worth watching, it doesn't look like here.
Well, I'm curious about the UAB because I'm curious about if they, because, even though UAB is one of those teams that you better not come sleeping on them. That's the way they used to be. Now, because they had shut down, they amped back up, if you will. And so I'm curious to see if they still got that dog in them.
They probably don't.
Well,
it's hard to have that dog in them when you can't practice all fall.
Well, they've already played a game.
Yeah, they played the other night against. They played at UAB.
Yes.
Yeah, they played a home game because
that was Thursday night, I believe.
One of the guys from Rick and Bubba is there. He's there in stadium hype man or whatever. So I know they played the other night and they won pretty. I think they won pretty decidedly. Good Lord,
decisively.
There it is. Decisively is the word I was looking for. English is tough.
Yeah, UAB has always been a good.
Well, after they got canceled and brought back, and Alabama didn't want little brother down there getting too good. So
you're listening to Pollux.
You listening to Afternoons here on WVNN. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded host of Hometown Heartbeat, every day right here on 92.5 WVNN. We'll be right back. Yeah, they crushed him like a bug.
This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. News starts now.
No, you're not.
The chief of police is among the department leaders in Rochester, New York, leaving over criticism of the way the city handled the death of Daniel Prude back in March. Prude, who had a history of mental illness, died of suffocation several years later.
I'll buy him.
Emotional reunions in Fresno,
I'll buy him, but I got to buy him now
campers
before you
who
can get a
had
ticket
been
price set.
airlifted out of a wildfire in the Sierra National Forest reunited with their loved ones.
You shit in one hand,
Among
wishing
them,
the other, and see which
14-year-old
one
Joseph
fills up
Chacon,
first.
His brother and their
As
dad.
the fire started going and blazing, the inferno up there surrounding the Edison Lake, it was a real surreal moment.
More than 24 major fires are burning across California. President Trump expanding a ban on offshore drilling while on a campaign stop in Florida.
To safeguard our stunning coastal areas, I signed legislation authorizing $100 million to fight the red tide and toxic algae.
Mr. Trump will hold a campaign rally tonight in North Carolina. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
There are over 2 million new firearms owners in the U.S. this year. Many new owners are learning the importance of taking classes and participating in regular range practice. Whether you are a new or experienced shooter, you'll love Bullet & Barrel Indoor Training Facility. We have a state-of-the-art air handling system with 100% fresh air. This system, combined with our spacious building, means that we are able to stay open safely throughout the virus crisis. There are no hot, long outside lines at Bullet & Barrel. Take advantage of our 5-star experience. We have easy parking and uncrowded shopping. There are over 2 million new firearms owners in the U.S. this year. Many new owners are learning the importance of taking classes and participating in regular range practice. You'll love Bullet & Barrel Indoor Training Facility. We are open Tuesday through Sunday, located at 3252 Lemon Ferry Road. Shoot for something different at Bullet & Barrel. For more information, see Facebook or bulletandbarrel.com.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This ad is sponsored by Janelle & Associates Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas.
Attention all former Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts. If you were sexually abused by an adult scout leader, even if the abuse happened decades ago, listen closely, as you may be entitled to substantial compensation. The Boy Scouts of America have billions of dollars in assets and have agreed to set up a victim compensation fund for victims of child sexual abuse, even if the abuse happened decades ago. Our attorneys can file a claim for you and get you the justice and closure you deserve while you remain completely anonymous. If you you suffered abuses from Scout leaders and those who knew about the abuse but failed to stop it, call our law firm's confidential Scout Abuse Helpline at 800-413-5784, as you may be entitled to substantial compensation. But hurry, as time is running out to file a claim. Call 800-413-5784 right now to see if you are eligible for substantial compensation. Call 800-413-5784. That's 800-413-5784. 800-413-5784.
Are you ready for what's next? It's likely coming. More food shortages, power outages, grocery stores closed, social unrest. Ask yourself, do you have enough food and supplies on hand to last at least 30 days? Most Americans do not, but you can. Avoid the panic of the last-minute rush. Order your 4-week supply of emergency food today from mypatriotsupply.com. Starvation or dependency on the government are your only alternatives. Avoid those and the pain of being unprepared. Go to mypatriotsupply.com right now. Build your emergency food supply with meals that last up to 25 years in storage, shipped discreetly to your door. Folks that know what's coming are using today to prepare. There's time for you to do the same. That's mypatriotsupply.com, the original Patriot Preparedness Company. mypatriotsupply.com.
These days, people are holding on to their vehicles longer than normal since supply is down. Auction prices for used cars are up, meaning your trade is worth a lot more to us. So right now at University Kia, get up to $5,000 over Kelley Blue Book fair market value for any trade during the Summer Stickers sales event. Drive home a new 2020 Kia Soul for only $189 per month. Now available, the all-new 2021 Kia Telluride, 8-passenger SUV with touchscreen display, backup warning, increased towing capacity, and much more. And don't prejudge your credit. If you bring home $350 per week, University Kia wants to approve your credit today.
This is Arthur C. My name is on the door and I'm on the floor. If you're not 100% satisfied, please don't leave until you see me.
Get up to $5,000 over Kelley Blue Book fair market value for any trade. Only at University Kia. Online at universitykia.com. VIN number 717561. With approved credit through TD Auto. 1,000 down, 84 months at 4.5% APR plus tax, tag, title, license, and $7.99 dealer fee. All factory rebates to dealer. Negative equity refinance. Offers don't combine. Expires 10/4/20.
Time's running out to win $1,000 a day for life from Publishers Clearinghouse. Enter at PCH.com and you and your family could soon be celebrating the win of a lifetime. Don't miss your chance to win $1,000 a day for life on October 31st. Go to PCH.com before it's too late. That's PCH.com. Better hurry if you want the next big winner to be you. Enter now at PCH.com. Entries due 10/28. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited.
Meet Lisa, a former attorney. Well, she's still technically an attorney, but she's spending more of her time on administrative tasks like HR, client intake, and marketing. Things that do need to be done, but not what she became a lawyer to do. If you share Lisa's challenges, you need Lexicon. Lexicon has over a decade of experience in helping attorneys grow and manage their law firms with our software and services. And we can help you put your focus back where it belongs, practicing law and earning money. Visit lexiconservices.com/start.
It's your news now. WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Afternoons here on WVNN. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful bearded host of Hometown Heartbeat right here, the pride of WVNN, every single day from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Joined today by Chi-Town Eric, guest favorite here on our Hometown Heartbeat, and then the man, the myth, the legend, Greg Wise joining us here. And as always, at this time slot, the wonderful, the lovely, the intelligent Copper joins us. And Copper, we have a segment that we're going to do, and instead of me butchering it, I'm going to let you lead us in this segment.
All right, sounds good. Well, it is now time for the Drive Time Happy Hour, where we take a break from ranting about politics or anything else we're doing and invite you all to call in and share some positive stories. Whether it's stories you've seen on the news or stories going on in your own hometown, go on, give us a call and share it. And we are going to share a couple stories that we have found as well.
It's easy to focus on everything going wrong in the world, but we want to bring you what's going right. Now it's time for your your drive time happy hour.
All right, my favorite happy story today was a little boy from Minnesota who's 2 years old, and he has a cleft palate. He's gotten some surgeries already, so a little bit of a rough start to life. His dad, just the other day, went to an animal shelter looking for, not a dog, but chickens. But he did, in fact, come home with a dog, a little puppy, who also had a cleft palate. So now the little boy has a little spotted friend who's just like him, and they're going to be the best of buds.
That's a cool, uplifting. Look, I tell you what, there's so much out there right now that's absolute garbage. It's good. I mean, any story, and especially one included. Look, you are 2 for 2 on dog stories. One was Robo Dog, and then you've got this dog, but you have a obvious theme going today.
I've got a question.
Yes, I guess.
He went.
You guys have dogs?
I do. Yeah, my dog comes to work with me every single day. His name is Duke.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah, he's awesome.
My little 4-pound Maltese shrieker.
Yeah, no, all 3 of my dogs eat 4-pound dogs they eat 4-pound treats. So that's funny. What, Greg, you had a question?
Yes, it said the guy went to an animal shelter looking for chickens.
That is a curious. I'm glad you caught that.
Animal shelter. I mean, was it an animal shelter at Dog Day in Ardmore?
Yeah.
That's odd.
Like, where are the abused chickens that people are rescuing?
Yeah. You walk down the aisle and you see all these chickens in these little gates, and you're like, oh, that's the one.
Oh, look at the cute little yellow one with the beak and stuff. Yeah, no, and they fight. Let me tell you, they'll do some fighting now.
Mosquitoes, though, that's good.
Yeah, bring on the chickens. You know what? Louisiana needs more chickens. The state bird is Louisiana. So let me go ahead.
What's your happy story, Zach?
Well, mine is this is a real story. This is actually happening, and for me, this is absolutely positive news. Millennials are getting handier around the home since lockdowns have began. And which is great. They quit playing World of Warcraft, got out of their mom's basement long enough to buy a house and pick up a hammer. So 81% of millennials have tackled a home improvement project since March. And it does say here that adding a second screen to their gaming setup does not qualify as a home improvement project.
What about they figured out the trash ran on Tuesday?
Yeah, that would qualify. It does say here that basic chore. Now, the one question that I have that it doesn't clarify. It clarifies a lot of things here. It clarifies that 32% painted the house, 29% did landscaping, 27% did recaulking, 24% did tile. They tiled bathrooms. But what it doesn't say is how many of them got paid allowance by their parents for doing said project. It doesn't say that.
It was still in Mom's basement while they did it.
Yeah, it doesn't say they actually owned the home. It said they just did a home improvement, which is probably their way of earning their allowance at their parents' house.
If you're going to stay in my house for another 20 years.
But what I'm happy to know is that when the coronavirus is lifted, they might get out there and get gainfully employed because now they understand and have experienced labor.
That's a lofty expectation.
Yeah.
And here's the sad thing. I'm a millennial, unfortunately, but I can't avoid. I mean, you can't help where you're born. Just like you can't help who your mom and dad is. You can't help none of that. I unfortunately am a millennial.
That's tough.
Well, Zach, we're going to give you a mulligan.
Hey! 2 off the top, right? Every time you step on the first tee, baby, 2 off the top. Eric is going to give me a second swing at this. I do appreciate it. If you have a good story, if you have a happy story, if you have a story about anything other than politics, give us a call. 1-866-494-9866. This is, what was the name of the segment again? Happy Hour, Drive Time Happy Hour. I got it.
That's right.
Hey!
Drive Time Happy Hour.
This is not my first time on the radio, by golly. I'm a polished professional. Can you tell? Okay. All right. I don't like the quiet that followed that question. Copper, did that seem rude to you? It seemed a little rude on my end.
Copper.
Doing just
Is Copper her real name or just her radio name?
No, it's my radio name.
Okay, good.
I feel like I need a
Wasn't there a Copper on like the Bambi cartoon, the rabbit?
What?
Or no, or was that a dog? Disney
Thumper.
Yes. Yeah. No, there's a Copper in something Disney movie, old Disney movie. I'm showing
Winnie
my
the
age
Pooh?
now. No, I'll have to look it up.
Okay, on line 5, we have a story coming in. We got Mike. Mike, bring it in here, big fella. Oh, hold on. I went to that. I got
rolling blackout.
I know. I got trigger happy. I went to the phone too quickly. Whenever Mike is ready on line 5, we'll go to him. But I think I'm trying to figure out who you got. Copper. I need a radio name, by the way. Everybody's got a radio name, and I'm just Zach.
I thought you was the big, beautiful.
Yeah, but I feel like they have.
That's too wordy. We need something shorter.
Yeah, but then again, I probably.
We'll come up with something.
But then I probably won't use it. Okay, again on line 5, we've got Big Mike. Mike, bring it in here.
Hey, man, I appreciate you guys bringing about the biblical references, but one of the things I was kind of interested in is that you guys know that, like, the number 4 relates to punishment and covenant regarding the Bible. And one of the things that was really fascinating to me is you kind of made reference to something that I kind of was looking at myself, which was the Mayflower Compact. And this is the 400th anniversary of that Mayflower Compact, which comes up on November 2020, which is, like November the 3rd is the election, and 7 days later is the anniversary of the Mayflower Compact. I just wonder if you guys noticed that, because being that punishment is number 4 in the Bible or in the covenant, which is like Jesus spent 40 days in the wilderness, and then the Jews required to be in captivity for 400 years, and the increments of 4. That anniversary date of the Mayflower Compact, which is a founding document for all of our founding fathers, is a pretty interesting anniversary. I just wonder what you thought about it.
I'll be honest with you. You've kind of got me confused a little bit here in regards to the number 4 and the 40th. Is this like I guess what you're trying to say is there's some prophecy in this potentially that the dates could line up with 4 being punishment. Okay, I think I see what you're saying. You're saying that
it's the anniversary of the Mayflower Compact.
Sure,
what it is that,
but
400th anniversry comes up on pretty much the election day.
What's the significance of that in your opinion?
Okay, the renewal of it, if we basically go with Biden's abortion, the anti-God platform, I think we kind of turn our back on God as a nation, not necessarily individually. But I think that that's a significant problem for the nation if we adopt, abortion on demand, infanticide, and the things like that. And at that point, we don't renew the covenant with the Mayflower Compact, which took place with William Bradford, for almost 400 years ago. And that number 4, like 10 is the material number in the Bible, 12 is an organizational aspect of it, like 12 jurors, and the numbers in the Bible mean significant things. And I just wondered if you kind of touched on it, but I thought maybe you had kind of looked into this a little bit as to what the number 4 really meant, and the significance of the Mayflower Compact is going to the nation, because every founding document, including Northwest Ordinance, Articles of Confederation, United States Constitution, and the Declaration of Independence, was based on the Mayflower Compact, which was drafted in 1620 in November.
I got you, Mike. Thanks for the call. I don't know that that's above my theological pay grade. You're diving into prophecy, and you're diving into a lot of things there with the significance of numbers and what those things mean played out, and yada yada yada. So I am with you in the sense of I see what you're saying, but putting significance on that.
Hey, let me also say that call started at 4:44. What about that?
We're going to go to break.
We're all doomed.
I learn something new every day. I never profess that I know everything. Heck, I don't even know a little thing. But if that's some information you have, I'd be more curious. I'm gonna get on my computer and look it up.
You're listening to Afternoons on VNN. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded host of Hometown Heartbeat, and we'll be right back.
Where Alabama talks. WVNN. Depend on it. Here's your weather update from the Way 31 Storm Tracker Weather Center on News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
We've got one more fairly comfortable, cool start to our day for Wednesday morning. Tonight it's mostly clear, overnight lows into the mid-60s, and that's where we start our Wednesday. By the afternoon, highs near 90 degrees. Expect a mostly sunny sky, similar weather for Thursday, slight chance for a shower. From the Way 31 Storm Tracker Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Kate McKenna.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
The Bottles Dining Room is now open. Chefs Chris McDonald and Andy Howry invite you back to Huntsville's premier dining experience. Private and business dining options are available with no room fees. Tables will be placed 6 feet apart and staff will be wearing masks for your protection. The Bottle will continue to offer curbside to go, as well as delivery through Grub South. Call 256-704-5555 to make a reservation or go to thebottledowntown.com.
The big TV networks have banned Blitz, the new book by David Horowitz. They won't even talk about it. Still, Blitz is a runaway bestseller. Now 8 weeks on the New York Times list and #1 on Amazon. The big media are afraid of Blitz. Even Fox News won't have Horowitz on. Mike Huckabee says if everyone read Blitz, Trump would win in a landslide. Mark Levin says it's indispensable. And President Trump calls Blitz the hot book of 2020. It reveals his secret strategy and predicts big surprises in the weeks ahead. Blitz exposes the real agenda of radical groups like Antifa and names the secret billionaires out to stop Trump. You need to read Blitz. It's at bookstores everywhere. Or check out Newsmax's free offer for Blitz and save $28. Just call 800-NEWSMAX, 800-NEWSMAX, or go to blitz411.com. Blitz411.com. Everyone is talking about Blitz. Find out why today.
The talk station in Alabama, WVNN. Depend on it.
Welcome back to Afternoons on WVNN. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful, bearded host of Hometown Heartbeat right here. If you haven't, and you want to, which why would you not want to, go to www.thehometownheartbeat.com. If you've enjoyed the show this afternoon, one, get pumped because you've got me again tomorrow. But two, you can enjoy our show every single day. Even if you don't wake up at 5 a.m., you can enjoy our show by going to anywhere you consume podcasts, any podcast app out there, and search for Hometown Heartbeat with Zach Walker. And you can get our access to our show there. You'll get an archive version sent directly to your phone every single day. Or if you'd like to, just go to thehometownheartbeat.com, www.thehometownheartbeat.com. At the top, click on podcast and follow the instructions there. So I want to do a spin on Drive Time Happy Hour here for the last couple of minutes that I have with you today. And with my two illustrious guests that I have, it's something that we're all very passionate about. And quite frankly, it's not a passion. It's something that we have no choice in the matter. It's something that we have absolutely no say-so in. And so we want to leave you with this today. We all have hope in something greater. I tell you what, before I do this, we do have one more phone call. I would be remiss if we didn't let William in to give us some encouragement. So, William, briefly hop in here and give us some encouragement, big guy. What do you got for us? Oh, And we lost him. So let me go back to what I was saying. Essentially, here is where I land on all this. You should be happy in all that you do. You should have hope in all. You should be encouraged in all that you do. Are we going to have rough days? Yes. Is life going to suck? Most days it feels like. But let me back up and tell you this. You've probably been in that church service where it's like there's a big emotional response. There's a big worship set. It's great music. It's emotional. And there's this huge emotional response. And then you hear the pastor say this, if you need to do business with God, if you want to fill in the blank, come now while we stand and sing. What people don't say is if you want to be hated like he was hated, if you want to be persecuted, if you want to commit to a life of being an outsider, if you want to do all these things that make you one of the minority, not the majority, now come now while we stand and sing. Commit to a life of being different than everybody. You don't hear that, but that's the truth. And the reality of that is our reward in that is the hope and the joy that we have in knowing, like, the outcome of this whole deal. Look, ain't nothing going to surprise King Jesus in November. Nothing. Mm-mm. He's not going to wake up on the 4th and be like, well, hot dog, I didn't know he was going to win. Mm-hmm. No, he's gonna say, I did that for a reason.
Yes.
And no matter what comes of it, it's for a reason. And there's encouragement in that. So we've got William back on the line. Let's bring William in here, and then we'll wrap it all up with some happy hour, drive time happy hour of our own. William? Hey, buddy.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, Zach?
I can.
Good, my man. Phone's a little sketchy back and forth there, but I won't take a few seconds here. I'll get this in. Two things that encouraged me greatly. Well, I heard one thing today. You said, I had a feeling that something was telling me you might have been a member of Church of Christ or went to Church of Christ at one time or another, just by some things you were saying in the past. That's where I attend. I'm a Christian. I go to a Church of Christ. And my granddaddy, when he was 86 or 87, I'll have to ask the preacher. I just talked to him a few minutes ago, and I meant to ask him. But he was baptized when he was 86 or 87, and I was also able to baptize my daughter.
Amen.
My preacher at the time, he baptized my granddaddy, and I baptized my daughter several years later. And that was two great instances in my life.
Awesome.
I was so happy about. Thank you, buddy. You have a good day.
Thank you, Will Billy. Awesome. William tried to he snuck in there on us. That's Will Billy from our show. He's awesome. We enjoy Will calling in on a regular basis, and I appreciate that call. And look, at the end of the day, let me say this, because there's been a lot of Jesus in this episode today, and I'm not mad about that. I'm gonna put him in everything I do because I ain't got a choice in the matter.
Be blessed.
But let me tell you this. I lived a life outside of a relationship with him for a long time. I did a lot of things, not to glorify the sin of my life, but suffice it to say that I've spent time in a room with bars on it. I've spent, you know what I'm saying? I've done it. There's nothing that you're going to do or that you've done in my life that I won't look back at my life and say, you know what, I've probably been there. I've probably got that T-shirt. And I'm not proud of that. And it caused a tremendous amount of pain and suffering for my family. It almost cost me my wife. It almost cost me my life at points. And quite frankly, if I could go back knowing what I know now and living the life that I live now, if when I die, I go 6 feet under and that's it. Boys, if there's nothing after that, if it's nothing but worm, dirt, and you know, the alternate universe, and I come back as a caterpillar, right? Some crazy stuff like that. If that's the way it ends, and I could go back and I would do it exactly like I'm doing it now, because my life I've never had more hope, more joy, more love, more than worshiping this Jesus and living a life that follows him. And that's saying if I die and there is no heaven, if a bunch of drunk dudes were sitting around and wrote this fiction book called the Bible some years ago, if that turns out to be the case, which I don't believe it is, but in fact I know it's not.
Amen.
But if it is, I would still live my life the exact same way as a follower of Christ, because without him, I had no hope. Without him, I had no life. I had no love. I was separated from all of those things by darkness that I just can't put into words.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling that right now, you're driving down the road and you're like, man, I know what he's talking about. I feel like I'm living in a cloud. It honestly, that's how it felt to me. Like there was a constant chaos in my life is the only way I know how to describe it. The peace that descended upon my life. Now, is it easy? Well, no. Is it fun at times? No. Is it something I do every single day all over again? Absolutely.
Amen.
It's my wife, my son, my brother, my church family, all of it. And so at the end of the day, your drive time happy hour is brought to you by the Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
And that's all there is to it, because at the end of the day, you can't take away from that. Fellas?
Amen.
That's right. If like Zach said, I come from a similar background. Alcohol, drugs, convicted felon, and one day Jesus showed up, and I surrendered my life to his lordship.
Amen.
And it's not a religion thing. It's a relationship thing.
That's it.
And I know these crazy times that we're in have caused a lot of people to look up. So if you're looking up, reach out to somebody, ask them about this Lord, ask them
Holler
about
at
this
us.
Jesus. Holler at us. You can text me, 256-874-GREG.
Woo! Now that's a dope number. That's a dope. He bought that number. Listen, Eric, as always, my brother, I appreciate you.
Glad to be here. And I'm going to leave with 2 Timothy 1:7. For God hath not given a spirit of fear, love, power, and a sound mind.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good afternoon.
Alabama talks. WVNN. Depend on it. WVNN Athens. WVNN FM Trinity. A Cumulus station. It's 5 o'clock. News starts now.
From ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. There's been a major shakeup in the Rochester, New York Police Department. ABC's Lyle Lemoyne says it comes as the city deals with unrest following the March death of Daniel Prude, a mentally ill